I do feel like that is the better bag for her. I feel like her rapping over a sample type of beat will work better for her because I just think she doesn't know how to put together good hooks yet. Not saying that she never will be able to, but I just don't think right now where she is in her career, I don't necessarily know if she know how to, because that single that she originally put out, I think a few months ago, didn't land well with the people as much as I think realistically this one will. But I guess my question will be, when it comes to samples, I think samples originally will catch your attention, but I wonder, do samples have more staying power than, especially in 2023, do samples have more staying power than original songs? Like if I'm comparing think about whatever good samples that we've heard in the last year or two, maybe even 3 years, if you gotta go back a little bit further, can you compare the two songs that's just like original organic songs? So like let's compare a song like that to a Sexy Red on or Glorilla's FNF. Like I just feel like it's certain songs, there's like, yeah, the sample for older people is cool. Like, all right, it make it's easier for us to digest. It'll help newer artists who really not from like got their foot ready, guess to make make hooks on their own. Just like I said, even with Fabulous, I think Fabulous is a great rapper. Same, that's why I compared Lady London to Fabulous a lot, because I feel like she's a great rapper. She plays on words amazingly. She know how to kind of stay in pocket with what's going on social media. Even I watched like a little interview or something that she put up on her IG, and she was explaining like how she was creating this new music when she was going into the studio, asking like the producers and the engineers, like, what's your zodiac sign or this, that, and the third. So when I'm hearing all of these talking pieces, I'm still kind of looking at it like, yeah, I get what you're saying. And I think she, like I said, I think she knows how to create I think she know how to create good talking points, because she do it even on her Instagram live. Like sometimes she'll be on Instagram live and just doing like the little dating things. I think she knows how to do all of that very well, but I don't necessarily know if these sample songs will have as much impact when it comes to like comparing to like if you're competing against the Sexy Red.
I don't think she has to. I don't, because I mean, me personally, I don't know her music low, but I guess what I've seen from her, like just the freestyle, I don't think she would be competing.
No, so I guess when I say competing with Sexy Red, I think realistically you have to compete for the attention of the people. So that's why when I say compete, you have to compete for people's attention. And reason why, and I guess even I can tie that into people were getting upset with Lil Wayne. I mean, well, not people, the Barbs was getting upset with Lil Wayne because he posted the release date for him and 2 Chainz album was going to be the same day as Nicki Minaj's release date. So, and I think I'm sure, like I said, I don't believe Lil Wayne intentionally did that himself, because I don't think Lil Wayne even deal with the day-to-day. And even for a while, I think I even seen 2 Chainz do an interview maybe a couple months ago, and he said that album been ready, and they kind of were just, I guess, bouncing around schedules and dates or getting samples or some different stuff cleared. So I do think you have to compete with people's attention. I don't necessarily know. I feel like the samples is cool, like for the older people. Like if you're trying to get the older listeners, like, oh yeah, it's gonna get our attention. But I don't necessarily know if that younger demographic cares much
for the sample.
Yeah, and does it, or do it?
I think they do, because that's how they figure out these old songs.
But think about it. What's a big sample song that you can sit here and compare to like an organic, just original song? Like if I'm comparing Sexy Red, Ski, like what's a big sample song that can compete with that? Like that you've heard recently? You even think of an artist as big as Drake. Drake don't do a lot of sampling, or Future, none of them. Like even for that Wait For You sample, that was a Tim's sample, but Tim's was on the song. So, and that's still a newer song, and she's not a bigger artist. So a lot of people, if you weren't a Tim's fan, you didn't even know that was a sample from her song. You thought that was just something original that they just did together.
But when you mean the sample, you talking about like the beat, like, or you talking about actually using the sample in the song?
Like when I hear that Jeremiah and Lady London song, okay, you can clear as day hear it's a sample. I mean, that's kind of like Hitmaker. That's him and Jeremiah bag. They sample the beat, and okay, Jeremiah might re-sing the hook, but it's still a sample song. It's verbatim. Like I hear it gives me that same feel, and it's not a knock to it. It works. It works a lot. It works a lot for Hitmaker when he deal with people, when he was working with Tink, whatever the case may be. It works a lot. It gets people attention, but I don't think it doesn't give you it gets you attention, and the people are like, oh yeah, cool, I like this song. I might listen to it for a couple days, but I don't think it gives you that same staying power as a song like a Ski or a FNF, just like songs with that original organic, like what's going on outside today type of feel. I don't necessarily know if those samples can compare to what's going on with the newer generation for real?
I don't know because I feel like you don't hear FNF no more. Like you heard it doing when it was playing, but now you don't. It's not like you still.
Yeah, but I mean, they just probably wore it to the ground. Like you talking about that was something now. That song's like 2 years old now.
So that's what I'm saying. I think those songs, like even with the ski week, I'm like it might be for this year or maybe Then after that, I don't feel like it will be like those songs, like because I feel like they might last longer timeless wise because you are still using the old song. You know what I'm saying? I think those might be get still played later on down the line.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I guess it's something realistically to look at, and people can kind of pay attention to.
Like 5 years from now, I can't be like, oh damn, yeah, remember Ski? I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, but I disagree because I can name you a million songs that you probably wouldn't think 5 years, 10 years from now, you probably wouldn't think Swag and Surf was still as big as it is now today. When you first heard Swag and Surf, like when you heard that song 10 years ago, you didn't think it was going to be as big as it is still today.
I mean, but that was a movement too.
It became one. That wasn't original when the song first came out.
That dance was?
No. Okay, I can do another song since you want to sit here and say that. I'm sure you didn't think when Soulja Boy, she got a dunk, come on, in the club, people still go crazy. She got a dunk. She got a dunk. She got a dunk. She got a donkey. Like people go crazy with that. It's nowhere you can't like. I don't know them samples to me. Like I think it's cool for the ear. It's a familiar. Like when you're trying to get familiar with a newer artist. Like I do feel like it's going to work for Lady London because I feel like it's going to help people get familiar with who she is. Like oh cool, she can actually rap. Like if you're not really familiar with her backstory or you don't really pay her no attention on social media, I'm not sitting here saying I don't think this song won't help. I think this song will help get people familiar with how good of a rapper she actually is. But if I'm comparing sample songs to songs that are just originally from scratch, I think the songs originally from scratch kind of stay along a lot longer than the sample songs.
So okay, then my question is, do you really value what she's rapping about? I mean, do you value the ski song? Like you like the song, or you just because of that the hook or whatever? You're not really paying attention to the actual song.
Yeah, no, it's not too many songs people actually pay attention to the words to. Even songs that y'all fake like you paying attention to the words, you're not paying attention to the words. Because then I can sit here and start a conversation from a song, and you be like, "Oh, I didn't even know that's what they was talking about."
But what I'm saying when you say like the ski, you said she should be on sample songs because of the way she rap or whatever. She can't come up with original songs, but her making a sample song and coming up, actually she can rap. But that's what I'm saying with the ski. We just because it's a catchy hook or a catchy song, we really don't care about anything else.
I think too. If I'm understanding your question the right way, I think they serve two different purposes. If you can make a hook, like of course, I mean that's what make Drake. That would make Wayne when Wayne was Wayne. Like if you can make a hook and still rap, yes, that will put you in a different category. For somebody like a Lady London or like a Fabulous, do I feel like you may need if not even necessarily if it's not even a sample, but if it's somebody else singing the hook,
she need to be rapping on somebody else.
No, you just need somebody else to do the hook because the hooks is not everybody's strong. Most people, and I think again that's what makes Wayne. That's what makes Drake. Everybody who, especially, you are very lyrical. It's hard for most of them to really be able to put songs together. So I do think for certain people, you do need that kind of like I need that assist. And I think this realistically, like I said, it's not no knock for her. I think this will be a great look for her. I think this is something that she can kind of build momentum off of. But I do think that she may have in the back of her mind figure out how can I you gotta tap in maybe with some younger hood people. I don't know. I don't necessarily know what the formula will be for her, but I just was thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I'm listening to all these samples, and I'm not even gonna stay too much on her because it was a couple other songs that came out shit. I mean, damn near the whole City Girls album was a sample. They had endless samples on their joint, and I shout out to the City Girls because they were brave for sampling that Players Anthem jump. I was like, oh no, y'all ain't sampled this song, and they murked it. Don't get me wrong. I think they did an amazing job for their level of where they're going to rap. They took that song too. I'm like, okay, cool. You did not do that sample a disservice. Like you held it. Like I was like, okay, cool. I like this sample. Like that was a good jump. Like they freaked that jump, and even to have Juicy J on it because some people who made it know because 3 6 Mafia wasn't rapping on that original song. It was just Outkast and UGK. So some people didn't know that Juicy J made that beat originally. So to get him to let me redo this beat and you help do the split the hook with JT. I was like, that was fire. That to me it was cool. Like it worked. Like that's not. And I do think realistically, for younger people who hear that, like if you like the City Girls, and that maybe just and that kind of can, I guess, defeat my argument a little bit, because I don't necessarily know if you're not over a certain age, you might not even know that that's a sample. Like somebody that's 21, 22, and they love the City Girls, I don't necessarily know if they know that.
Nah,
I don't know. I don't necessarily know if that's true. If you're 21,
because it still comes on. That song still get played.
Yeah, but I wonder, do those people listen to the radio? Like, where do it get played at? Like, you thinking that if I'm saying 21, I'm sure a 21-year-old don't even know what radio stations is what.
I think you know that song. Just so because it was a TikTok at one point too. The little voice I thought.
I don't remember. Maybe that was before I got on TikTok. I'm not quite sure with that one. But I do like what was the jump? What was the Wigs joint? That wasn't no sample. The Wigs on Wigs on Wigs. The Wigs, like I was like, dog, the City Girls was in their bag, and I was kind of so disappointed. And like, I'm not even gonna say disappointed because I think their album is projected to do like 6,000 or 8,000. And I'm like, realistically, I don't necessarily know if I was looking for it to do more than, like, I didn't know what it was gonna do. I didn't even think that people was gonna keep numbers. And I think sometimes when the numbers are that low and people are so quick to project those numbers, I think you're trying to be shady. Like you're intentionally trying to be funny and have people look at them like, oh, nobody ain't checking for y'all. But it's just like, I don't know if that's true, because you didn't put like what was the number? Nobody put out the numbers for Sexyy Red's original for that for the numbers for that project, because but that's what I'm saying. So for some of what I'm saying, they probably didn't. So but that's my point, because some of those that's my point, because I feel like sometimes when people put out those numbers, you're trying to do, especially when they're that low, you're trying to do it just to kind of try to be shady towards that artist, and they normally only do it towards female artists. So my only thing of it is, with that being said, I don't necessarily know. I don't even care about the numbers, because I still actually like the music, and I'm just kind of disappointed. Like, damn, how many girls are not checking for them? And then that kind of makes that argument of when people talk about the Carisha Please. Now that to me is where I guess the only thing where you see numbers that low, and it kind of be like, dog, how do you do so many crazy numbers on your interviews? But then it was like when you put out the music, what people actually originally even got into you for, it don't match. Like, you should got an interview with Ari, and that joint got like 5 million.
I think that was because it's it's the culture.
What you mean?
Like, we would tune into an interview or just.
No, there's no person in the world is turning into an interview before they listen to a song. Nobody.
What, the CD? If you don't know, if you just saw on your timeline, you saw that what's name, you're gonna try to find a clip or find the.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, I guess if you're saying that, is it easier to find clips to interviews than maybe it is to listen to new music? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, because you will see more clips surface, because I mean, and that's off the strength of just copyright and stuff like that. And realistically, I honestly do think that if I was, and that's the messed up part, I guess, for the rappers, where it's like, you kind of got, like, the labels will have to figure that out, like how, because you can't, if you don't use, like, even if you try to post some music on any of your social media pages, 9 times out of 10, if the artist is big enough, and if you don't use the original music, like, how you on Instagram, you can select to use certain music. Yeah, they won't flag it then, but they'll flag your joint if you upload it by yourself. So it's like some people can't even share, or like, I'm listening to this new song. So I do agree with you on that part. It is probably easier to have interviews go viral and surface, because it is no copyright on it. People can't flag your page for sharing this interview or this, that, and third. Yeah, I get that, but that's a huge drop off, though. Like, that's crazy for you to have an interview that can do 5 million views, and then you sitting here saying you put out an album and it's doing 6,000 to 8,000. Like, that's horrible. And I do, like I said, I don't think necessarily know if you can get caught up in the numbers thing, because it's just like I said, I actually like the project. I thought it was cool. It was a City Girls project. For some of the songs, it was already out. I was like, cool. They were straight. Like the Usher jump, that jump was cool to me. Some of the other songs, but like I said, the standout ones to me was, give me 1 second so I can. It was the Static jump with Lil Durk. Fancy Ass B with Juicy J, Emotionals with Money Long, of course the Good Love jump with Usher, Work For It, and I think that was because that was a sample of that old Snoop Dogg jump, Beautiful. Yeah, I think they sampled Beautiful. Oh no, it wasn't Beautiful. It was a Drop It Like It's Hot. I can't remember. They sampled one of those jumps on that Work For It song. And what else? And I did like the Face Down jump. I hope they did. I'm sure they all still QC. The very last song on the project is called From the A to the D, or they just changed it and basically said F the A to the D or something like that. But that's literally a Lil Yachty and T Grizzly song. They literally verbatim. I was on the song. If you go listen to that Lil Yachty and T Grizzly song, it's the same exact song. Like just go look up Lil Yachty, T Grizzly, from the A to the D, and it was literally the same exact song. I'm talking about the rap cadence, the hook, everything, the same exact song. I'm like, dog, what the hell? But that'd be my like that to me is crazy. Like I know what I'm sure, like I said, they still all signed a QC, so I'm sure they probably showed him some love. But I was just like, bro, that was crazy to me. Like that was ridiculous. But we started off with music super early. I do want to go to. I want to go to. I guess it's Tyrese thing because I guess this is a new. I'm gonna play these clips from Tyrese, his I guess his ex girlfriend and I guess his not ex girlfriend, ex wife, and I guess this is the mother to his youngest child. And I guess this is the young lady he been going back and forth with over the internet. And the crazy thing is, I originally followed this girl on TikTok. I didn't even know that she was married to Tyrese because she was just on her phone, like just literally like making regular videos, like regular TikTok people, like giving dating advice and all that. I didn't even know. I didn't know. All right, so what's so crazy? I know I talk fast, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. People who talk that slow be blown me. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like they just talk too slow for me. I'm just like, hurry up, get to the topic. And maybe just I feel that way because it's a clip and I'm just trying to hurry up play it so we can get to it. I do want to play this clip from Tyrese, but I guess a question I do want to throw out there real quick while people are thinking before I play this clip of Tyrese. Have you ever just wish you didn't ask for information from somebody? Have you sit here and was telling a story from somebody and you kind of was just like, damn, why did I tell them this? Like in knowing for like after the fact, like they just wasn't gonna give you realistically good advice. Like they was gonna send you kind of like down. You done it before? And I kind of felt bad for her on that one. So I'm gonna play this clip of Tyrese and then we can kind of break it down. All right, so I guess realistically, he was going in to sit here and say, if you had people in your ear, why you didn't change, then you still must have these people in your ear, because realistically, you still are trying to take them to court. You still trying to milk them. You still trying to get money. So for somebody who's sitting here saying that you took bad advice at the time, you were emotionally in your feelings, then if that's how you feel now, and you can look hindsight on that, get on somebody's podcast and say that, then why would you still be going through with the legal actions in court? So when he said that, it was like, all right, well, he kind of got a point right there. Like, if you felt like you made a bad decision, then why still go through the legal purposes? And he basically was saying, he's saying it feel like it's just a money grab. Like, you want to become famous, you want to get paid for it, and you want to kind of basically, you trying to take me to court to get like you some financial stability so you can build up your fame and you can kind of go do these like podcasts run. You can be on TikTok and be giving people dating advice and all this stuff. And I do think that is sometimes a little bit crazy. Of course, we did play that young lady last week, but it do be like, damn, you're going through a fresh divorce right now, like you're still in and out of court and you're trying to give people dating advices. That's insane, dog. Like, that don't make sense to me. Like, you didn't even give yourself no time to actually go through whatever you're going through, and you're sitting here realistically and you're trying to give other people advice. Like, how that work? Like, even just think about it. That clip that I played of her, the very first word she sit here and said, like, I heard, listen to what the first word she said. So that's my point. Like, you don't think it's too soon for you to be giving people advice and you still going through something? You're going through something publicly right now.
I think you still can give your advice, your opinion, but how? I mean, do you really value it? Is the question. Because that's just like if you were to get in an accident or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, something happened to you, and you be like, well, damn, I wish I wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you experienced it. So I can still give you the advice and tell you, like, all right, well, you should think it through. Because how many times you acted on just off of, you know what I'm saying, something.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I do think sometimes and I think because we live in a generation where people are so rushed to tell a story or try to gain attention from people. I do think sometimes you have to allow yourself to still go through the process. I feel like you still have to allow yourself to heal and actually go through what you're going through, actually flush out your emotions before you sit here trying to give other people advice. Because sometimes you can be given, if you're still emotionally attached to the situation, you don't necessarily know if you'll still be giving the right advice. Unless you are one of these people who went to like somebody like Devon Franklin, because him and Megan Good have been divorced probably now for like a year or so, maybe even a little bit longer than that. It might be almost like 2 years from now. I'm not quite sure the time frame on it, but he's doing a series right now at one LA church. And for people who don't know what that is, Sarah Jakes and her husband church in LA. So he's doing that right. He's doing a series right now, but he even speaks on that though. He still speaks on that and call himself out. He's like, no, he said, and he feel like, no, I still be fighting sometimes. Like, how am I getting up here telling people how they should date or how they should live life? And I'm sure people looking at me like, dog, you just had a divorce. So he's still even deal with that process. So for somebody he's a super strong religious person, he's heavy into the books, and he got a stronger pedigree to even speak on certain things. And they were married for 10 years. Like, for somebody like this, kind of like, I don't know, dog. Like, I do feel like sometimes it's just like you kind of want to, I guess, why the conversations is hot. Tyrese is constantly always in the blogs. Let me kind of keep these people attention now, because like I said, I didn't know that's who she was. I followed her on TikTok just because I was like, oh, all right, she talking.
Now I think that might be the issue.
And she's a nice looking woman. She ain't an ugly woman at all.
That might be the issue because y'all was going back and forth on social media beforehand, even before he went to the Breakfast Club and all that.
Mhm.
So for y'all to be sitting here still going back and forth, and now you talking about you regret it, you wish you had other people in your ear, then why you even still going? You know what I'm saying? Like,
why you still going back and forth on social media?
Because it takes a while for a divorce to actually get filed and everything is done. So you taking it to social media and you expressing all this, and then now you turn around and say, well, damn, if I had somebody else in my ear, I probably wouldn't have did it. So you really didn't want to do it. You just did it out of spite, pretty much.
Yeah, because again, because it goes from, and I guess the original question that I asked before I even played the Tyrese clip was, asking for advice from people. Maybe when you're I guess it's hard because if you feel like you need advice, you're gonna go to people, and then I'm guessing like if you don't know who to go to, like if you're going through something, so I guess you try to bounce it around and figure out like, okay, I'm gonna ask whoever else I know who's been married. But if from that story he's saying like, all right, well her mother was divorced before, so I don't necessarily know. That's kind of no shade to her mother, but I don't necessarily know, should the very first person, I guess when you having like some type of tremendous beef, should I run and try to get information from my mom? Like, is she a divorcee? Like, how do you pick and choose who do you get information from, and what's the right information? Because I'm sure, like what she said, I'm sure everybody has dealt with that before. Getting the wrong information from somebody. Just the first person you could run into a friend, and you realistically that was the friend who was gonna pick up the phone, but that's not the friend who give you the good advice. And I think that happens to a lot of people, and then you have a lot of regret with stuff that you've done, and you can't. How do you realistically even take it back? You can't take it back. Like after you ask for a divorce, how do you take it back? Especially if you're continuously going through the process.
But then maybe that might be the question: do you really regret? My question: were you truly in love?
And that's something that Tyrese has been saying on the Breakfast Club and other interviews he's done. Like he's questioning, did she ever really love him?
Because that's my thing. You might be saying, yeah, I'm regretting getting a divorce. I could have stayed longer because now I could have got more money, or I could have, what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
So that might be my only question is you saying that you regret it. But at the end of the day, when you say you're married to somebody, it's supposed to be to death do your part. So you just say we only been married. What is it?
One second, I think he said 5 years.
5 years. So like I said, for you to sit here and just like, all right, I'm done, I'm ready to go, and there was no cheating, there was nothing involved, I'm done smelling right.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and that's probably one of the things that he's sitting with a lot in himself. And even from, like I said, I listened to his Breakfast Club interview, and I think that was something that he was questioning a lot, was the love actually genuine at this point. And that to me is, I'm sure that's a hard pill for a lot of people to kind of swallow. Pause. And matter of fact, and I let this jump load up, and then I want to kind of come back with that conversation. People make the world go round. Like, share, subscribe. We here each and every two. I hate when they be putting stuff on. People make the world go round. Bing, bing, world go round. All right, you ready? Yeah, so out from one of our clips from last week, one of our listeners, a homie of mine, he DM'd me and we was talking about I think we was talking about wasting time and stuff. And I think he was saying he was going to do therapy, and he was saying that was one of the things that I guess his therapist told him. It was like, oh, you move the way you're moving right now, and it's so hard for you to date because realistically, you don't want to be and you don't want to be honest with the your baggage that you're bringing is that you're not fully healed with wasting time. Like that's a lot for a lot of people, especially the older you get when you're in your mid 30s to your late 30s, where that kind of sit in the back of your mind where it's like, dang, I don't want to waste my time again. And that's a lot of people fear on how they invest, how soon they invest when it comes into dating. And for anybody new listening, if you listening because for sports or whatever extra music, I promise you we'll get there. But it just I kind of want to just always balance it out a little bit. But so it just comes to it do come to that. I do think a lot of us realistically do have that trauma that nobody did you kind of want to go on without it being talked about because it's just like you, as especially as a man, you don't never want to sound like a simp. You don't want to complain about, and then you don't want to come off the seem like it's broke because some people will take it as you like you sound like you broke. If you sit here and be like, man, I'm tired of wasting my money on women and this, that, and the third, they unappreciative, this and the third. First thing they throw, especially in this day and age on social media, like I mean, I guess you would realistically you would need safe places to have these conversations with, because if you went on social media and could make complaints about some of this stuff, the first thing they will say is, "Oh, you broke. You need to just date people in your tax bracket." And that may not be necessarily none of the case because it'd be like, cool, I can afford to do all those things, but it still hurts if I felt like I wasted and it went in vain. And for men, because we don't do it as often, that one or two times you've done it, it's pause, it ride with you for the rest of your life. Like it's so hard to shake it. I don't necessarily know why as men it haunts us and that plays in the back of our mind for so long, but it do a lot of times. And I think, and I'm sure a lot of women have even regret with certain just the type of dudes they have dated before or different times. I think we all live with that regret and that little thing in the back of our head where it's like, I don't want to waste no more time. And I do honestly think a lot of people don't know how to communicate that feeling with, even if you know how to say it, you don't know how to communicate it and then move on from it. Like how do you move on and date healthy? How can you healthily date? That don't even sound like it's a word, but how can you continuously date knowing that you got why don't you use one of the soda cans to hold it up? How do you or use one of these? How do you I guess not yeah, how don't you carry those like those burdens, that baggage? How do you stop carrying that baggage? How do you sit here and say, let me shake some of this extra baggage that I'm carrying along with me so I can sit here and be able to like let me move on and date freely. Let me stop second guessing people. Let me stop thinking that this person isn't genuine or this is gonna be a waste of my time. Because if you go into it, that's almost like going into a game. If this was sports, like going into a game and like, damn, we about to get swept. Like you don't have like every game you feel like, oh, they about to beat us by a dub. Like you don't have you wouldn't sit here and play somebody in 2K and be like, damn, this nigga about to smoke. Like you're not going, you wouldn't maybe not even feel that way until at least like the second quarter, dog. Like you don't even allow the game to actually go. And it don't matter who they pick, you still gonna feel like you're gonna have some level of confidence until you feel like, all right, now this nigga just way better than me on this game. So like why even go when you talk about dating, why even go into dating where it's like I already feel like I'm gonna get smoked. Like this is already gonna be a waste of my time. Like, why even go in there with that energy? Like, you wouldn't do that with nothing else.
Well, what is your real reason for going into a relationship?
What you mean? Because most people want to be in one.
But then, how can you say you wasting your time? If you want to be in a relationship, right? Do you know like what you want out of this relationship? Because yeah, I want to be in a relationship. I want somebody around, but what do I want? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what do you want it for?
What do you want it for? Just because you want somebody around, then maybe you might not be made for a relationship. You might just need somebody to be around you. You might need it. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't necessarily have to be a relationship. Because say if you put all your effort into it and the way you go about loving somebody is not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not because that's where you will feel like you
so that right? Yeah, so that's what all right, but you just literally answered your own question, and that's why people have those doubts because people may not love the same way they do. Or what you're looking for in return. Like,
but but when you're dating or when you're talking to somebody, that's what I'm saying. So you just jump into a relationship just to say, "Well, I'm in a relationship," right?
I don't necessarily know if you're not doing it just so you can say you're in one. I think people actually like the feeling. Realistically, whatever your most vulnerable space you ever been in when it comes to dating, like when you were super vulnerable, you were happy as hell, you didn't care, you would do anything for this person. 9 times out of 10, I'm sure you would want to do it again because of that feeling. Like everybody wants to feel like that again. Like nobody wants to go on this earth and be like, I'm cool with just leaving the earth, never knowing what love feel again. Because dog, if you ever felt love before, or in the back of your mind thought you knew what love was, I'm talking about you were open like 4:95 and 3 a.m. and I'm talking about on a Wednesday. Ain't nothing else out there. It's just you in the road and your nose is wide open for this person. I'm talking about you never said no to this person. You was that much in love with them. You never told them no. I'm sure realistically, you want to feel that again. You want to be able to feel that vulnerable and that open for somebody again, but most people are scared because they know how it feels when it don't pan out the way you want to. Because when you feel that in love with somebody where you never even want to tell them no, you just constantly just want to make them happy because it makes you happy and you just super geeked up about them. You wanted that to end with the white picket fence, the house, the kids, the dog, whatever the case may be. That's how you wanted that story to end. And because it didn't end like that, it has you so jaded. And you just got to kind of almost treat it like the same way. And I guess I guess we can change topics where I would want people to kind of go into their next relationships with, just go with it with the same excitement like you did every time we watch Power. For a fact, okay, episode 1 may, like we talk about this every time we talk about a 50 Cent show. Episode 1 may start off, it depends on what what show it is. Episode 1 may come out gunning, or it may take 3 episodes. By episode 5, you already know with any 50 Cent show, we rocking and rolling. We already know what type of time it's going to be on, and it's going to be what it is. So the same way you were excited to go into a new season of Power, you have to kind of look at that with like dating. Like, of course, I know how the last one ended, but I don't know how this next one going to begin. But I know if this is going to be a good season, I know by episode 5, it's going to be fire. And if you're going to date in that same way with that same analogy, I guarantee you'll be more open to allowing it to get to episode 5. And I swear to God, I just smoked that shit. God damn, that nigga is good, son. Jesus Christ, where did you find this kid from? That was Steph Curry from Half Court Night. Shout out to the goddamn Aces. Asia Wilson, back, pull up the goddamn Drake. That's what I'm talking about. Back to back. That's how we're gonna switch gears, just like that. The LA, I said LA, Los Angeles. Damn, that's not Los Angeles. It's Las Vegas Aces, back-to-back champions. They cleaned up the New York Liberty. Send them girls back to the farm, ladies and gentlemen, because you ain't built like that. Asia had Stewie up there looking for a birdie. And the crazy thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I literally followed every girl or every woman on that Aces team after that goddamn championship, because boy, they got spicy on Twitter. They was, oh man, what's Sid? Oh my God, she don't get no PT, but I swear to God, she is here for all the smoke on social media. She's gonna drag it to hell with whoever on social media. Like, people was like, oh, you talking trash and you ain't play number 5 minutes, and she's like, and she was just going crazy on people. But like I said, Asia Wilson, aka shit, she definitely, I don't care what nobody say. I do think realistically, she probably, if she don't get her own signature shoe by this season, I'm sure she'll get it by the next one. Because it's just like it kind of only makes sense now. Like, y'all kind of smacking her in her faces. Like, how you give what's the other little the younger girl to play for the Liberty? She got her own Nike sneaker. You kind of ain't got no choice but to get Asia one now. Like, what's hard? Nigga, the little white girl for the Liberty got one and ain't done nothing. I ain't talking about Stewie don't got one. I'm talking about the other.
Only one in the WNBA got a signature shoe.
And that's people's point. Like, okay, what has she done to even deserve one?
Right, but what I'm trying to tell you, that's hard to just come. Niggas in the NBA don't have signature shoes, so it's hard.
But okay, but what I'm saying, okay, so I hear what you're saying, but realistically, let's go with your analogy, which you was about to go with. If that was the level of man, you would have. If this was a man in the NBA, she would have a signature shoe by what her stat line is.
Yes, she would. But this is not the same. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Candace Parker, shit. Look how long she been in the league. Nobody wear her Adidas. Nobody even know she had Adidas.
Yeah, but I think that's because I think they waited too late to give her one.
No, and I think she got him on. That was in her prime before she even won the second championship. She had that when she was in LA.
Nah, no. She got that. I want to say she got that signature shoe when she went to Chicago. Like, she ain't got that many pair out.
For 2 years.
Yeah, she don't got that many pair of shoes out either.
How long Trae Young been? She shouldn't have had a signature shoe with Trae, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not. I can't. I don't necessarily know the stat line on it because I haven't been like a sneakerhead in a long time. But I do feel like it ain't.
No, I get what you're saying because who she is in the league, what she's doing. But it's hard to come past the signature shoe.
So then, so how do you explain giving the girl for the Liberty one?
I think they just did it. I mean, because nobody else in the league has a signature shoe, so they just did it. I don't think it was a meaning behind it. There's just a new phrase. She don't even talk that much. Sue Bird don't even have a signature shoe. Like she's with, you know what I'm saying? Like she wears her own, like.
But okay, let's be honest. And I'm not trying to make it a race thing. I don't necessarily. And y'all know I love Dirk Nowitzki. I love Peyton Manning. Though white people just don't sell sneakers. Tom Brady ain't never have a sneaker. So let's not make it like we can't make it the bar like for why this white person don't got a sneaker. They ain't supposed to have one. They just don't sell sneakers. They don't have the cool factor to it.
But I'm saying, but Sue Bird's shoes, like when she got, like with the Kyries that she had, them shits be fine. But I feel like just Nike as a whole don't really care about. You know what I'm saying? Like. Because just their designs and stuff that's going on there ain't the same marketing that was before. Now, if this was earlier in the the WNBA, then yeah, I'm pretty sure she would.
Yeah, because Cheryl Swoops had her own Nike sneaker before.
But I feel like this day and age is not the same. Shoes are not selling like they used to.
No, I don't disagree with that part. Yeah, I don't disagree with that part, but I do still like it. Just to me, like, all right, if the case, if you feel like nobody can't move sneakers for real, then you cannot give a okay. I'm not even gonna say that because the Sabrina girl is cool, but she just dog.
If that's the case, then why somebody like LeBron don't put her on your?
Because, but I don't know how LeBron thing is set up because nobody don't have one. I'm sure he probably would love to, but he don't have nobody up under him. So it's not like he like Jordan and he got Team Jordan. Well, he made custom shoes for her. She had her own custom pairs for the championship. She had her own jump, but that's even her coach got mad. Becky, what was it? Becky Hamlin. She got mad because she was just like, yeah, it's cool. Shout out to LeBron, but she shouldn't be wearing LeBron's. She should have her own signature shoe. And that's how the conversation got started because her coach started the conversation after game one.
I hear that conversation, but I mean, come on, we gotta be real.
Like I said, I do think realistic. I guess just to me, looking at it, like I said, because I do like real, and we talked about this before, and you got on me like, nigga, my favorite players was Peyton Manning, Dirk Nowitzki. But ain't even one of them niggas was cool enough for me to want to buy this. And to be honest, they wasn't even cool enough for me. I love watching them play in real life, but I ain't never picked neither one of them playing the video game. So it's just like that cool factor sometimes really be matter. So when it comes to like shoes and apparel and stuff like that, I understand it. That's why even when it came to Angel Reese, like the Reebok thing makes sense. Like, is she we gonna see this season who's really the bigger jaw is between her and Caitlin Clark? But if we talking about selling product, yeah, it's not even close. I'm sure Caitlin Clark can't sell no product outside of whatever school product she got to sell. But Angel Reese can, of course, sell lashes, sell bundles, and all that other stuff. So like that kind of comes second nature to.
And then also you got to think about it. They probably want to be full hands on, and I'm pretty sure Nike don't.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is sometimes people you have to stop. I guess you stop being so in love with Nike because it's not. And I was listening to Rory and Maul, and they was talking about how, and this was before I guess they was having a conversation about the Iverson and Shaq thing, and this was before I guess the Angel Reese news came out of the Angel Reese signed with them, and they were just like how many of these kids grow up on Nike, so it's gonna be hard for Reebok to actually be able to get other athletes. Well, where I do feel like now is like if you do want full control. Like even shit, that's the reason why Kanye left Nike before, because he's like, I want hands on certain things and I want this percentage. So if it's for somebody like look at Kyrie or look at like Austin Reeves, like if you want to be able to create your own sneaker and you want to be able to have some influence on it, or like a LaMelo Ball, like even though his dad had his own shoe line, but I'm sure Puma offered them more. Like I'm gonna give you a percentage of this and you can have creative control and we can get these shoes. For sure, but still, what I'm just saying is you can tell like how if you go to LaMelo Ball Instagram and then you go look at his signature shoe, it matches his swag. Like his whole personality, he got a bright personality. His page is very bright, is very flamboyant. When he plays on the court, his game is very bright and flamboyant. So the shoes make sense for him. Like when you see LaMelo Ball shoes, oh yeah, it looks smart and it looks like it matches his style and his swag, and it's very kid friendly. Even his personality, his image is very kid friendly. So it's just that's just the difference. So I do agree with you. Like if that's the case, then maybe people have to stop being so pressed to get a Nike signature or even be a Nike athlete. And shit, shout out to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid signed a shoe deal with Skechers. And I'm not saying he's gonna sell a bunch of shoes, but who cares? He got his own signature shoe, and I'm sure realistically for a nigga that his size, when you carry weight around, and when I told y'all about this with working out, getting a comfortable pair of workout shoes, oh, that shit matters. And I'm sure them Skechers make for him, dog. Joel Embiid is like what 7'2", 300 and something plus pounds. I'm sure every pair of shoes don't fit comfortably on his feet. So if for somebody who's been fighting leg injuries his whole career, like that shit matter. Like what kind of shoes you putting on your feet? You can't just be putting anything on your feet. So you need something that's going to be actually comfortable. So shout out to Joel Embiid and the Skechers Jones. They wasn't horrible. Like they was cool. They was some lime green Jones. Like if I was still in the sneakers, or even if I really wasn't trying to wear them out somewhere, I could work out in them Jones. They was some bright lime green Jones. I'm not mad at him. Even for those shoes, to keep it moving. Let me this Michael Irvin clip. Michael Irvin kind of went crazy on his son, and that's funny. And I do think realistically, to be honest, I think Michael Irvin, more people need to take notes from Michael Irvin and kind of hold their kids to that same. I can't find a Michael Irvin joint right now, but let me play this Young Jock clip. Oh, he all right, but anyway, Young Jock basically was getting dragged because he said he didn't want to perform. He was on Vlad TV, and Young Jock said he didn't want to perform in front of an LGBT community crowd because he don't want men looking at him.
More than Drake. That
He said that he don't want to perform in front of them because he don't want people looking at him lusty and licking their lips at him. And of course, and if y'all don't know, what my man Jason Lee said, he said when Drake dragged Joe Budden in the when he wrote that, he said one thing you know that the gays gonna give you a good drag, and they took Young Jock to hell, and people were like, no, you tell me you don't want to perform in front of the LGBT community if they was to offer you $250,000, and of course people were like, nigga, what song are you gonna perform for $250,000? Like where and what parade do you think that the gay people will sit here and say out of all people that we gonna pay $250,000 to, it's gonna be Young Jock? Like please cut it out, dog. That never wasn't gonna happen. And I do think sometimes people do set themselves up like when you give these wild, boyish, and I feel like this is almost a Boosie type of answer. Like you come on, dog. Sometimes you have to be serious with yourself, and you have to be realistic with how the backlash is going to come with that one. You know for a fact they're going to drag you to hell, and you know that you don't put out relevant music enough for that. Like to even make a statement like that.
And you said the most you got was 100 something.
Damn, that's the most he ever got in his career.
Yeah, I think that's how the conversation came about. I think it was like 100. I think he said like 130 or something like that.
But that's so crazy, like how times have changed. And I guess that's kind of almost like that little
130 back then, probably. No,
that's what I'm saying. 130 back then was, of course, you talking about this early 2000s. You talking about that was like probably like I want to say like 2005 or something like that, or 2006, 2007. Right? I feel like he before Jeezy and them, or like right after Jeezy and them. But it was around that time, around between 2005, 2007, around that time frame. That one was a lot of money, but just imagine if he had a song that big in 2023. What type of you got to think about it? That song is still but again, that's when we were talking earlier in that conversation when we were talking about sample songs and we talking about songs that's just big. That song still get played and people still like if you at a 30 and over party and they play a Young Jock is going down, or even Young Jock got a couple songs that you could play right now and people in the club are still like will enjoy those songs and still like if you drunk enough so you still gonna party to them. And of course, like I said, I wouldn't Young Jock, those songs ain't hot enough for somebody to be booking you for no $250,000 or for you to even have the audacity to turn down $250,000. I don't care who the crowd is, nigga. It could be, I wouldn't care. I would do it. So that.
But then you have some people like money don't control me. I just won't do anything for money.
Okay, so and I'm glad you said that because now I can play this clip of this young lady.
Sexyy, I know that they have kids, and they have made it clear like they're choosing rap as a career to elevate themselves. They like, I want to provide for my family and my children. This will give me a lot of money quickly. Do you choose integrity and poverty? Or I choose integrity and whatever else it brings. I don't choose selling your soul. What part makes it selling your soul? Because it means I'm willing to do anything, belittle myself, and do anything. So, my kids, not my kids. Respect me.
So that was just to bounce off and play off of what you just said. I do think realistically, it's how I don't know how you determine what you're doing for money is, I guess, morally wrong for you, because it's like I guess even tying that into the young jock thing is like, is that you just being homophobic, or you really just like, what will be your reason? Like I can't see like you having a real reason where it's like it's that deep for you to turn down $250,000. Like we talking a one-time performance.
I don't know.
Like I can see if you was a super religious person, then maybe.
Yeah, see, and that's what I was about to say. Now, what if we didn't know like he's really into the religion?
But I guess my pushback for that now is even just, and don't get me wrong, a lot of pastors have division with this. Like a lot of old school pastors, they still heavy on the Bible. They not making no changes for their word. They not being nice to social media. They gonna sit here and be like, nah, that whole situation is no good. You still going to hell, whatever the case may be. But then there are newer pastors where they kind of like bend a little bit on this conversation where it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying, you are who you are, whatever the case may be. If God put it on your heart, you may change, or whatever the case may be. So it just depends on how old the pastor is, how heavy he really is into the Bible versus how social media treat him. Because some pastors ain't bending on it. They don't care what you say on social media. They don't care about going viral. They don't care about building up a social media following. They don't care about no YouTube channel. Their word is the word. They preaching from the word. Right. So it may be a little bit different. So I get it, but then it's just like we're even playing that clip with that lady was sitting here saying, where it's like, because I guess that played back off. I think it was a clip of Sukiyana crying into the phone, and was just like, people won't allow her to grow. She want people to take her more serious about her music and stop judging her from her past and bringing up her past.
But then that's what I think. Even with that lady saying that, I think that's a big thing. It's just nowadays you might take on this image or to portray, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not you, but you're just doing it for the money.
Yeah, of course.
And then now you want people to take you serious. And it's like, well, damn, you've been, joking or whatever all this time, or you've been saying, you do X, Y, and Z. And then now you want us to be lyrical miracle. Like, nah.
And you know what's so crazy? And I think just to even tie that into even our earlier conversation when we were talking about Lady London, I do think that is I think that's a sweet spot for when you use the samples, because it's like it kind of can allow you to figure out where you still want to take your career for real. Like I can hide behind the samples for a while until I actually get how I want my voice to come off. Because I do understand who I'm competing against. I know that I'm competing for people's attention. I know I'm competing against the Sukiyanas, the Sexyy Reds, the Ice Spices, and whoever else. Because what's so crazy, and even made me, I seen this. It's a young lady who signed to QC. She's from Milwaukee. Her name is I think Lakia. And I seen a picture of her yesterday. I was in the gym and I was talking to Top, and I was like, damn, it's messed up, because she's a petite girl, like she's tall though, but she's a small frame woman. And I'm like, and I seen a picture of her like literally like in like a thong bikini just sitting on a sink, and I'm like, damn, it's messed up that I'm showing her brain. She feel like she got to post this picture to keep people engaged with her page, where it's not really just focused on the music. And that to me is kind of like, damn, is that the times that we really in, that that's what you really got to do?
But let's be honest, if okay, City Girls just put out that album, right? Let's say next year they want to put out, like Happy in Love. Like, are you really going to pay that any mind? Like, are you going to even lose the more? Well, you were just telling us, to do it, but now y'all want to talk about love and you have, Like, I think that's a thing that just, it downfall, Like, once you start, I don't think you can just make it,
I think you can if you're not concerned with the numbers. And I think we had this conversation before. I think you can talk about, and you can make whatever type, and it can go music, it can go content, it can go TV show, it can go whatever. You can make whatever type of stuff you want to make, as long as you're not chasing the numbers. You can create freely if you're not chasing the numbers. But when you're chasing numbers, then you're gonna always pander to the algorithm. You're gonna always sit here and feel like, I gotta be a city girl. I can't never show no growth, or always gotta post at least a half naked picture to keep people attention, because that's what they want to see. That's what get me the most likes. Like when I seen that from the little Lakia girl, that kind of hurt my feelings. I was like, damn, like you really like, oh, you so small, like you don't even need this. Even with Coyle Ray, I seen a post of Coyle Ray the other day, and a tweet she tweeted out, and she said that she was thinking about getting bigger breasts. And I'm just like, dog, you've been, but that's my point. But but that, you know what that comes from? Now that goes for you. Probably realistically, you compare. Like I feel like I make better music than all these other girls. What do they got over me? Because we all have said Coi Leray is a beautiful looking girl. And I think she even got to the point where people like her for her body size because it's unique, it's different, it's not like everybody else's. So for you to even tweet that, like it kind of be like, damn, I feel like you defeated because you feel like I put out a lot of music and people don't talk about it as much as they talk about the Lottos, the Megs, and the Cardis. And realistically, what do all those women do have over her is a larger body type. And don't even get it twisted. Meg is losing a lot of weight. Like you looking at these videos of Meg putting up these workout videos, Meg is getting way smaller. So I don't think, but again, I will always tell anybody, like, you can't be a slave to them numbers, though. Like, them numbers will drive you crazy if you pay too much attention to them because you won't create from a genuine place no more.
But do you think nowadays people are really caring about the numbers, or they just taking the deal?
I know people still care about the numbers. Because if you didn't care about the numbers, you wouldn't purchase. Though every day you wake up, you wouldn't feel like I have to act a certain way on social media. Like you pay attention to how people act on social media because you know what gets you the most engagement.
But that's just society, though. I don't think you really necessarily like, oh, I gotta be beat to the god. I gotta do, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but so what I'm saying is that's the numbers. So you think I'm not talking about numbers like album sale wise. I'm talking about the algorithm. I'm talking about social media. And that's the sad thing is for rappers, you would care more about how many likes and views you get on an Instagram post than you care about the music you make. So and I feel like that's kind of like just the times we in, like that's kind of sad to me. But let's get into some sports real quick. Let's let this load up and then let's get into some sports. Let that load up. Piss real quick.
oh, they lose.
Yeah, 16-7 right now when the Vikings on the goal line.
Huh?
I said I need Kirk Cousins to do his thing.
Damn, what up, Michael? You ready? Oh, I just want to see where. All right, so yeah, I did find the clip of that Michael Irvin thing. And I guess I wanted to see where the conversation even came from, and I think it came off of the John Morant conversation, because I think somebody from anonymous source, and a lot of people are getting upset with that. Like, they sick and tired of ESPN with these anonymous source things. If you're gonna sit here and say something about somebody, just come out and be honest and say where you got the information from. So I think it was playing off of this situation with somebody. Anonymous source on ESPN was blaming a lot of John Morant's behavior on his dad. So I'm gonna play this clip from Michael Irvin off of not say first take, Undisputed. Yeah, of course. So like I said, that's Michael Irvin, and I do think realistically, just to piggyback off of what he said, I honestly think I wish a lot of parents did that, and not necessarily. And he's famous, so I mean, of course, it's not gonna make or break his son. I don't feel like his son got no real rap career anyway, and that's probably real. To be honest, that's probably the most promotion his son ever got in life, because I never heard of him, and every blog picked it up, from the biggest blogs to the smallest blogs. They all picked it up, and they put a picture of Michael Irvin. His son looked just like him, just with dreads. So they put him side by side. So I do think that was good promo for his son. Now, will people take him serious? Probably not, but that's the most any type of promo he gonna get. But I do think realistically, I wish all parents behaved like how Michael Irvin did, because it's like I watch a lot of people, and I know females who work super hard and you buy your kids these expensive clothes like a Mary Janes and whatever other the cool stuff that the kids wear. I mean, and I ain't saying the kids, like not high school kids, you're buying them whatever the rappers are wearing. So let me process that a little bit differently. So you're kind of adding on to your kid kind of almost behaving or trying to portray a certain way because you giving him the permission that all right, I'm gonna put you in the Mary Jeans and you can wear the Pooh Shiesty mask, but because of course at that time the pandemic, whatever kids me, okay, all that's over. I'm not gonna lie, if I was a parent, y'all know how I feel about that. That goddamn ski mask would be a hell no in my house. You could never, if I catch you outside with it coming from practice or whatever, I'm gonna embarrass you. And I do think a lot of parents, and I understand y'all be scared they're gonna call the people on you, but let them call the people on you. Because I swear to God, y'all need to bring back shaming and embarrassing your kids. The same way you used to be scared if your parent came up to school and would embarrass you. Like, though, you got to think about that. When y'all kids probably don't even have that fear anymore. Like, though, you used to be terrified if your parent came to school to just the peek in the head or when parent teacher conference. They know your kid. Y'all don't even know if y'all still have any of that stuff anymore. But I'm sure the kids are not as terrified as we used to be. Like, I used to be terrified of any of that. Any phone call home, any of that, but because this is what I'm saying. What Michael Irvin really did is this: y'all should do with your kids on social media. Your kid if your kid, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm sure a lot of people, y'all, even if it's not your child, you know somebody who has a kid. If you go to their kid Instagram, you be like, damn, you let your kid post this on the Instagram page. Why your kid look like he be on the block all day, and you work 2 or 3 jobs to put people to provide him that little designer jeans or shoes that he got on, but he taking pictures outside in his because everybody gonna know a kid with a bad neighborhood. So his little friend with a bad neighborhood, they go outside and you have worked 2 and 3 jobs to provide these jeans and these shoes for this kid, for him to just stand outside and make it look like he's been trapping for his whole life.
I'll be though.
But because that's the parent, because most parents are too comfortable with trying to be their kid's friend or allow or help. You thinking in your mind, I'm providing a better life for my kid. No, you're not. You're enabling a little hoodlum. You are trying to make your kid cool to hang outside. No, make your kid a nerd.
But then you also go back to what they glorify. What do you see as cool? You might not see it as being cool. Oh yeah, I was doing my work. You know what I'm saying? You might not.
But I think, that all goes into what you feed your kid, because you got to think about it, and that goes into parenting. Dog, you are the first person to introduce your kids to this stuff. Like, if you don't introduce them to the music, they don't know what's cool. Like, you gotta think, when you get to introduce to your kids what's cool.
That is true, but then you're not with them 24/7.
For sure.
So yes, you might not, like you said, you can try your hardest not to introduce them to that type of stuff, but then it's an open world. You open up your phone, you see everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see all this.
But okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. We could use your kids for example. They like to play what's that, Fortnite. Dog, your oldest son, he don't. To me and you, we grew up on 2K, Madden, and like, okay, whatever games, like if we weren't playing each other in like wrestling or Madden or whatever the case may be. Yeah, okay, maybe on our spare time we may play some of the other games, but dog, our household grew up on Madden, basketball, and whatever wrestling games was out at that time. Dog, he don't care about none of that stuff. So for him, what's cool to him, it don't matter how much we play 2K, unless he just gets super bored and he want to play a game with me, he may play. Now, your younger son is different. Like when he see me, hey, let's play. Uncle Mike, you want to play Madden, you want to play 2K, whatever game he feel like playing, that's the game we play. But your oldest son, dog, I don't care how much you play 2K, that's not cool to him. He don't care. He likes playing Fortnite. That's what's cool to him. Him putting his headset on, that's what he think is cool. So that's what I'm sitting here saying is like, you can still, it's like, I don't necessarily, I think if you allow them to just play freely in a different world, you don't have to, I'm cool with him not wanting to play 2K. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. All right, well, if that kid don't want to play 2K, what this one do? All right, I can play 2K and Madden with the young son. So I just think sometimes when it comes to just like, you gotta just allow your kids to find out other things is cool and introduce them to other stuff where they may feel like it's cool. Like, that stuff is cool to them. Like, playing Fortnite to him is cool. Like, that's him and all his friends, they get super excited. I listen to him. He be excited and be happy as hell playing that game. So that's what's cool to him. Where it's not necessarily like, I think we give a lot of people too much of a pass where it's like, oh, our kids got free time and this, that, and the third. You can't raise them all the time, but you kind of get to introduce them to what is cool and what's not cool. Like, you can introduce them. Like, if you sit here and I get it, I understand for like the person who working 2 or 3 jobs, you probably realistically your kid kind of at their own devices 90% of the time. But it's just like, then you might have to choose. Like, is it necessarily? Do I need to keep providing all this extra stuff for them if I can't be hands on as a parent? Like, do they need these pair of expensive jeans and these expensive tennis shoes if this is taken away from my parent time?
But then but that's why I say I just think even in the era or even in the development, like different communities, like what we did and how we played around and stuff like that. Yes, because that's what we had. We're close to the age. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we had around that time. We go outside, shit like that. But now in this day and age, most of these kids, a lot of people don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? Close to their age, like you go outside, it ain't no other kids outside playing. So
that's what to me, but that's the thing that does make the video gaming thing cool though, because they should think about it. Even and when I'm listening to him play the game, and I'm just like, how many kids? It's literally a bunch of kids just talking. I'm like, no, we used to have to go to somebody's house and play video games in the backyard. For that many kids to be in one place playing a game, we used to have to literally take the video game set and take a TV, and whoever parent was cool enough to allow us to plug the TV in the video game outside in somebody's backyard for that many people to be playing a game at one time. So yeah, their outside is a little bit different now, but they still have a sense of community behind the video games.
But that's what I'm saying. But then you got some people who's living in a, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody. I get what you're trying to say, but it's just like, and even with Michael Irvin, he's just like, well, we grew up in a gated community. You didn't do all this. So, but you do have kids who's in that see the stuff that's around them, and that's how they, that's
So okay, so I'm not. I don't think even when I'm speaking it, I'm not necessarily talking like if that is your kid's reality. If your kid reality is, hey, I'm outside and I'm really outside thugging and the block is all I got, then cool. I'm not knocking it because if that's y'all living situation and your kid may feel like he don't want to even be like. He don't like that struggling situation, so he outside really trying to get some money, then cool. I'm not mad at that part, but I'm talking about for the parents who live in Bowie and Upper Marlboro and Montgomery County and Virginia, and you're actually busting your behind at work every day to provide a different lifestyle for your kid, bro, you should be able to sit here and stop trying to be cool with them and violate them on their Instagram. Michael Irvin did this on national TV, though. If Michael Irvin can violate his son on national TV, y'all can sit here and get on your kids' comment section on Instagram. You could just randomly take their phone and delete their Instagram page. You don't have to be their friend. What they gonna do? Run away? Then let them run away, bro. Trust them. You understand as an adult, you know how hard it is outside. Don't let your kid learn how hard it is out here for real. It was hard, and guess what? I came back. Like nigga, so that's my point. But you have, but my point. But you have to experience it though. So that's my point. So if you don't have that experience, or you don't get out and live life enough, though, it happens. So that's my point. It's just like I think a lot of people allow their kids to just get away with too much BS, and then everybody got a pity party when something go bad. Like, and it's just like, and that's one of my things I even get frustrated with, especially some of these media outlets is like and I feel like it's easy again when we're talking about just clickbait and what's the hot topic. Like, let's all talk. I'm never gonna come on here and we're not talking about no wars and nowhere. I ain't no disrespect. I don't care because though we got our own problems here. And I rather and the stuff that I know that we got to go outside every day when we go to the gas station that we got to worry about when we go to these grocery stores and kids doing these carjackings. I'm gonna talk to my people about stuff that we got to worry about every day when we just trying to make it from home and work and to provide for our kids, especially the holidays right around the corner. It ain't about to get easier outside. When you keep seeing all these layoffs and all this other stuff, dog, it ain't gonna get easier outside. And the closer it get to holidays, it get worse. The colder it get outside, it get worse. Like it don't get no easier. So I just do like, if you can, and I'm sure as most parents you can, don't just be a little bit more stricter. Like stop trying to be your kids' buddy, and allow them to be cool. Figure out different ways to be cool. It's cool that like if your son can score 30 points, that's cool. But him sitting here saying, "Oh, I got the new pair of jeans, and I got this, and I got these shiesty masks and all," bro, that's not cool. And then to even speak on the shiesty thing, it was I forgot what school it was, but it was a school, and they were doing a switch day where where the teachers got to come dressed as the kid, and the teacher came with a shiesty mask on, a black hoodie, and some skinny jeans. He looked like a student. If that caption didn't say this was a teacher, but trained as a student, you would have thought it was a student in front of the class. And to me, what I'm sitting here saying is, if you seen that picture and you was just like, this is crazy. That's how I'm not saying people who listen, but I'm sure we all know people who kids go to school and look like that every day. Bro, that's disgusting to me. Like that should not be like, though, part of your kid's uniform should not be a goddamn mask. Of course, and we from the DMV, so we know it's not created, but that's what they call it, the shiesty mask. Your kid should not have a hat or a mask on where he feel like I'm Pooh Shiesty, that's my dog, but Pooh, I'm really shiesty. I don't need no security in the club, but I got my own fire. Like that, that stuff, that's all the lyrics just recited to wearing that ski mask. Like, bro, that should never be cool. Like that's corny. It ain't no other way to address it. And I hate when I feel like I had to get on my soapbox about certain things, but I just seen like Michael Irvin made a huge statement real quick. And shout outs to the Philadelphia brotherly shove. Shout outs to Jalen Hurts. Shout outs to the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a huge win Sunday night over the Miami Dolphins, especially after losing to the Jets. And of course, and that was a huge step back up for Jalen Hurts because he threw that game away against the Jets. Let's be clear, like the same way I called Lamar Jackson out when he had a bad game against the Steelers. You gotta call Jalen Hurts out. He had a horrible game against the Jets, and he stepped back, and they had a huge game against the Dolphins. The Dolphins both of them came into this game 5-1. And right, did the Vikings score against the 49ers? Did they score? While we just in live time, I just kind of want to keep up with the score. 14-19. Oh, so they must have get a touchdown the last time they was in there. Yeah, so right now, I guess, of course, I know we record on Monday, so Monday Night Football right now, the score is 14-19. What, Vikings way, right?
Yeah.
Vikings versus 49ers. But like I said, yeah, so yeah, the Eagles won against the Dolphins. They had a huge game. And don't get me wrong, Tyreek Hill still had, like, he had one of them big games like he normally be having, but he still had a good game. Like, that nigga is fast as hell, dog. I just know that one jump when nigga with Tua threw it to him and he just threw it in the back of the end zone. He just shoom and just went and caught it. I'm like, dog, he could just throw it. What do you have?
88.
Oh, and so that probably majority of that yards was probably for that one big pass here. But that, I mean, for him, that's a bad game. An 88-yard game for him, especially when he been getting like 2-something and 160. Like, I think the lowest I think he was averaging was 160, and that was just kind of pan. You know, most of his games was like for. He had a couple 200-yard games this season. But shout out to the Eagles for beating the Dolphins. Like that was a huge staple win for the Eagles. They needed it because, of course, every weekend, and I try to send it when I catch some of these clips. I try to send it to Marcus, and even on Twitter, I seen somebody tweet Shannon Sharp was like, I hope you have some different energy for Lamar Jackson this week. And then Shannon Sharp tried to sit here, like, y'all want me to praise y'all players. No, niggas don't want you to praise their players. We just want y'all to stop when Lamar Jackson have a bad game. The first conversation it goes to, oh, should the Ravens have really paid him? Duh. And he proved it this week. He almost had 400 yards total. He had 393 total yards. He had 356, I think, passing, and the other 40 or 60 yards was running. And he had 4 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. So it's just when people get upset because the crazy thing is, and what I think with analysts, and don't get me wrong, I think Shannon Sharp may get because he works at ESPN now, and people listen to other analysts, and he's the person like, we call you Unc. We don't call the rest of these niggas Unc. So like you better be the one speaking up for us. Like you got your name and your popularity, and it was so easy for you to get a job because the black community spoke up for you and championed you and put you up there on the level of the Skip Baylesses and the Stephen A. Smiths. So yeah, when we hear these other analysts talk bad about the only elite black quarterbacks we have, nigga, we want you to be the voice to speak up for them. So you're absolutely right. Yeah, you may not personally not speak bad on Lamar Jackson, but you on a network, that's their favorite conversation every time he ain't had a bunch of bad games. We had what's this week 7? Is what they 5-2? Yeah, so week 7. No, it ain't that he ain't had that many bad games. They only lost 2 games. So, but speak highly when you come in there this week, nigga. You play for the Ravens. You need to be in there beating and banging your chest for Lamar Jackson because he smoked the Detroit Lions. And at one point in time, people was like, "Oh, the Lions look like they could be a Super Bowl contender."
They had the best record in the league.
Yeah, well, one of the best records because I mean it was.
They had the best.
Nigga, how? And them and the Eagles got the same record. Well, they lost more games than the Eagles now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They had the best record in the league because then they beat Kansas City and all that.
Well, they didn't have the best record in the league. But if you say all the teams that were 5-1 at that time, they the only ones who beat a legit team. Yeah. So if you're sitting here saying they didn't have the best record, but they had, when you talk about comparing to teams that they played at that time, Detroit Lions had they played better teams than versus the 49ers or the Eagles. So or even the Dolphins at that time, because the Dolphins was 5-1. So compared to the teams that were 5-1, the Detroit Lions had better wins versus better teams. You're absolutely right when you're saying that one. So it mattered. So and the Ravens went in and they smoked their boots. They literally beat them. What was the final score? I think 38-17. I mean 38-6. I don't even think they scored a touchdown. Yeah. So that just even with that being said, it was just like give Lamar Jackson that credit, give the Ravens that credit because you can't sit here and kick people back in You know what I'm saying? Like that conversation just get it only gets. I mean, me and you had that conversation because I told you they only bring up that conversation when it's with black quarterbacks. So nobody, Justin Herbert just got paid.
Yeah, but I also think it's also on them because it's just like, all right, if you win in all these games, we need you to perform on the big stage too. That's just like the same thing with Dak when they talk about Dak. You can win all these games during the regular season, but during the playoff, you fucking wet the bed.
Of course, I think, but let's be honest, and I think realistically, and I mean, we talked about it. Michael Parsons don't need a podcast, like bro, just focus on playing football. But I do think they don't understand. People been talking about the Cowboys for years, and that's why we don't talk about them here because you can just cut on ESPN, cut on any major sports network. They talk about the Cowboys all day long, but they've been talking about the Cowboys our entire life, and that's why people even quote unquote is supposed to be America's team, and I think that's why it's so easy for people to always just fall in love with them because hey, if I'm a kid and I'm just watching ESPN. Well, I mean, of course, when we were younger, they didn't even have none of these shows, but now that they have them, first take all they do is talk about the Cowboys. Skip Bayless, new jump nigga. Michael Irvin is his co-host, and he's an ex-Cowboy. So both of them two, Skip Bayless being a Cowboy stan, and Michael Irvin being an ex-Hall of Famer that played for the Cowboys, won 3 championships with the Cowboys. All he gonna talk about is the Cowboys. So of course, their criticism is gonna be completely different because that is the highest net worth sports team. Like they are worth the most. Like out of all the sports in North America, this team is. It's number one. They number one at $9 billion. I think it's $9.4 billion. Nah, they even above the Yankees. They are the number one team. So it's just like, of course, people will always talk about them. Like, do he get? I don't even think he get extra criticized because I don't even think when we talk about people don't put him in a conversation as elite. They just talk about our team a lot. Like niggas don't be like, oh, we think Dak is a Super Bowl champion or he's an elite quarterback. No, niggas just be like, oh, you play for the Cowboys. That's why we talking about you. If you didn't play for the Cowboys, nobody wouldn't even care. But just my thing is, even again, like I said, we don't have to stay too much longer. Like again with Justin Herbert, they played Kansas City and he threw a pick 6. They lost the game. Nobody talked about it. When that was Lamar Jackson and Lamar's my guy, I made sure I came on here and talked about it when y'all sit here and beat them and he threw that interception. But Justin Herbert threw a pick 6 when that was a 4:00 game. Picky. It was over. He literally lost the game. He threw that pick. The same day, it's the coaching, and this is I was so happy. And I texted our little cousin Jeff because he's a Chargers fan. I don't even know how he became a Chargers fan, but he's been a Chargers fan his whole life. I don't know, but he's been a Chargers fan. And as soon as he threw that pick 6, I just texted him, Picky. Like, dog, you really like, come on, dog. Like, that's y'all guy. Y'all, nobody don't never want to be hard on him, but it is what it is. Like I said, and shout out to the New England Patriots. They beat the Buffalo Bills. For people who don't know, that was a huge upset because the Patriots was on like a 4-game losing streak. Before that game, the Patriots in a row. No, that was 3 games in a row.
No, I'm talking about for Buffalo.
Oh, they just lost 2 games in a row, yeah. So yeah, Buffalo definitely gotta get their act together. And like I told you, Josh Allen gets a lot of criticism, but he get a lot, but he don't. Because you even sent that tweet last night. People was like, it's crazy that you could lose the Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and people still gonna call you elite. It's because he's white. They don't be trying to make it a race thing. They just make it so oblivious and so easy. Like you can't deny these conversations. Like to me, when you try to deny these conversations and duck them, you just being corny. And that to me, like this ain't no job. This is not a network. That would be corny for me to sit here and duck some of these conversations where it's like, no, it's clear as day. If you listen to enough of these shows, you hear how the conversation go. And what they do, and the way they dress it up is, I'm just gonna put a bunch of black people on here, but they still got white talking points. And that's why I love the Ravens so much because after the games with the Ravens win, they always throw up the ESPN analyst picks. And literally when they played the Lions, everybody, all the ESPN specialists picked the Lions.
I mean, but that was, even I picked them because what's name saved them the last game they played? That when he kicked that 60-yard field goal. Yeah, last season. Of course, no, for sure. I'm not about to gas it. Better than what they were last year. So for sure. I would have thought they would have came in, but like I said, they came in any given Sunday. They came in with the fucking bed.
I don't even necessarily know they wet the bed or just the Ravens played like how people would feel like the Ravens should be playing. Like Lamar Jackson played how people you will want Lamar. And I told you that even when we were watching the game, I was like, no, because y'all know I talked about this after week 1, I got humbled fast when it came to betting with the FanDuel stuff. And I haven't bet like the stat lines like that. Like that week 1, I was just geeking. Oh, I'm gonna bet on this stat, that week 1. Boy, this should humble me. I ain't betting no stat line. I still might do a parlay here and there, but we talking actual stats. Shit, me, I ain't doing it. But that game, like the way he played yesterday, is the way I bet it for him to play week 1. So, for people who are actual Lamar Jackson fans, we don't feel like, oh, this is just some, like this is how we expected he should play all the time. But he don't. So, like I said, I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much. I feel like sharing equal quality time with the listeners. So I feel like after you go on a deep sports dive like that, you kind of gotta dole it back with some women conversations. And I want to play our girl from last week. She's back. Cheesecake Factory girl back.
She must have some friends who probably disagree with her going inside the Cheesecake Factory. So you're having to call it what you choose. Oh my God. The Cheesecake Factory, they get that. I was on the bottom. That was my circle, though. That's how it was straight to me. That's to go all out on a date. And you said, absolutely. If you like her, you should present that, right? You should be asking her, she should pay for the meal, show up on time, open doors for her, the whole night. He asked you, the woman is with you, you said, with you, be there. And that's good, right? Absolutely. Wow.
To me, it was the very first part in the first clip was the part that stood out the most to me when she sit here and said, all a woman's supposed to do is, if you really like me, you're supposed to cater to me. You're supposed to buy me what I want, take me where I want to go. And it's so crazy. And I think that a lot of people and I seen people in the comments like, I can't believe adults are so gullible. I don't necessarily know, even if originally if people thought this was a skit, and maybe it was, and they leaning into it more, who knows? But I think the reason why these type of videos garner so much attention is because so many of us, this is a lived experience, and you may not live it to the extreme, but you have dealt with it to some extent. So it just triggers you when you see certain things. It's just like, why some people don't watch horror movies, because you may like it, just certain parts, like it just may trigger you a certain way, or you don't like watching hood movies because you may have actually lived that experience. Like I've heard people say that. So I think those things just trigger certain people, because I feel like in the back of most men's mind, they feel like a lot of women think like that. They feel like, oh, you cater, like you trying to court me, you need to take me where I want to go. Don't tell me no. How you gonna tell me no? You like me. So when you hear these conversations, like, dog, it just like it gets you upset because it triggers you, because you feel like, I've heard this before. I know people who behave like this. And even when she said, I got an image to like, what do I look like going to the cheesecake? And listen to what I'm saying. I'm not here to try to tear no woman down, bro, but come on, lady, like, cut it out. Stop. You got to cut it out. Like,
but my only thing is, you say that, right? But then it's just like when you're looking at her, or just even looking at the whole thing. I get it. You saying you have an image to uphold, or whatever the case may be. But if I don't see that image, or I don't look at you that way.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that one, and I agree with that one. I think, and I guess realistically, and that goes back to the social media thing. I do think the law of attraction is a real thing, and I guess that is some reason why some people only post certain pictures, because you're absolutely right. People, that is how people, you can you post what you want, but then I think sometimes people post on how they feel like other people going to judge their pictures or where they go or what they do, even the vacations, or we even talked about it with birthdays, where people feel like if I ain't turning up enough, I ain't posting my birthday, it don't matter, I'm over it. Like I do feel like, and subconsciously, I do feel like a lot of us judge ourselves on how we think other people may look at us. So you're absolutely right. What you're saying, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I do feel like, damn, it's kind of a flawed way to look. And I guess maybe like, what's the feel? You have to kind of judge yourself to the feel, because it's like what she's saying is, like I said, and the reason why it's triggering even for somebody like me, because I know women who really believe that. And of course, they look way better than her, they dress way better than her, but it's different. So sometimes, but how many women out here really don't think they that girl?
But okay, but even if you that girl, you got that image. My question is, right? You holding that image or whatever. But if I see you and then now like, okay, cool, we're going out, blah, blah, blah. I pick you up. You're not the same person. The image you portray or you trying to look, like how you look on Instagram or whatever, ain't the same how you really look in person.
I mean, I don't think hers. I don't know if hers drop off that differently, and I don't necessarily know. I don't know if. I don't think a woman, if I know, I think a woman, or even for dudes, if you met me or I portray myself a certain way on social media, I don't think I'm going to link up with you if I'm not still up to that par that day. I don't think it's going to be that dramatic of a drop off.
It can be. I think it can be. Because you might be, let's just say you pop off like, oh yeah, I'm this big spender. I'm only going to 5-star. And that's why I say, when she say that she got an image to hold up, but if you meet another guy who ain't for that, or you know, this is where we going, we about to have a good time though. You know what I'm saying? Like you, I would then find, you know, I drop you, or drop you off, whatever. So you have some who will let up and just like, oh, all right, let me, you know, try it anyway. So that's my thing. It's just like, what image really do you have that where you just can't try? You know what I'm saying? Like that is so beneath you.
So all right, let this on load up, and I'm gonna tell you. Let it load up. People on the YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Give me like 2 seconds. Allow this little podcast situation to load up. To the damn plug. High five to the damn plug. High five to the damn plug. Let me gas, Emily Lean. Bless the drugs. Unplug.
You can read the list. The list, you can read it.
Oh, that's the dating John? Oh, yeah. You mean the damn plug? Damn plug. High five to the damn plug. The gas, Molly Lane. God bless the drugs. Five to the damn plug. High five to the damn plug. Giving me gas. Five to the damn plug. All right, yeah, let me read this list off real quick before we. I hate when we do that because I forgot what was we just talking about before.
We were talking about cheesecake.
The Cheesecake Factory thing. Oh yeah, right. So I get what you're saying. Where you're saying for some people, if this is a social media personas or something, did they bring it up, right? Or did they trying to portray? But don't get me wrong. Now listen to what I'm saying. I follow and I even personally know a lot of women who only go to like 5-star restaurants. No, not saying that they won't go somewhere else, but if you're talking about in that courting stage, they ain't about to let you take them somewhere else. And don't get it twisted, or you don't count them as a date. And it's so funny because I do think a lot of women will go other places and they're cool with going with other places, but then can't count them as a date. Like I remember I was talking to this girl and she was like super, and everything was like OD 5-star. And I was like, all right, well, cool. Let's go bowling, but let's not count it as a date then.
It's a hangout. It's an outing.
Yeah, it's just an outing. Like we ain't got to count it as a date. This don't even have to This don't have to count towards a date. Or let's go to the movies. Let's go see whatever, something stupid like a kid movie or something. But let's not count it as a date. So this don't have to even count towards dates. So you don't feel like I'm trying to finesse you out of your normal dating pattern. So you can still keep up. So like, but I'm saying, I know endless women who literally that's every time they hit their social media, it's a 5-star situation. It ain't no hotels, it ain't nothing less than 5-star. Dating is never less than 5-star. So I can't be mad if that's how they portray. But if you look at a picture of them, they're gonna be designer down from head to toe or stuff like that. So when I'm looking at this woman, only reason why it's even laughable when people joking about it's just because her presentation. Because you can still be she could be a bigger woman and still have the bar set for herself, long as but you have to present yourself like that. Right. You can't sit here and say, I don't want some whatever case may be, and then you like I only want to talk to dudes who wear designer, and then your whole fit come from Shein. Like it don't work like that. Like you got to be able to put yourself together the same way you want people to treat you. So that's the only thing. I think that's the reason why that whole video continuously just baffled people, and people even when that was a new clip, and I seen people in the comment section talking about the same thing. Oh, she still got that same cheap purple lipstick on. Like I don't know nothing about makeup, so I don't know what caused what, but they were just dragging her for that purposes of that. So my whole point of with all that being said is, you have to figure that out. Like if you want to present yourself and you want people to treat you a certain way, now you have to take that same effort to portray yourself on social media that way. And you got to be able to do it often. It can't be once in a blue moon. Like you can't only pop out just on your birthday. So you out of 365 days, you only like big ball of once a year. Nah, people not gonna treat. They're gonna come at you however they want. But if you consistently, like maybe every other weekend, I'm out on a nice date, and it could be a solo jump. But people, you showing the food and you showing the restaurants, because realistically, what it'll do, it'll intimidate off the men who can't afford it. You know what you can't keep up with, dog. I promise you, like, I wish I could sit here and hack into like them girls' pages you may see on the Explore page or the Instagram. I'm sure 9 times out of 10, the dudes who really try to shoot their shot at her be athletes and be rappers. It ain't just some random little poop up, because the random poop up ain't even gonna shoot his shot. Like I'm not about to sit here and waste my time. I'm about to go DM Randy Rucci or something like that. Like, no, like nigga, what's the point? What's the point of me trying to DM Lotto? Like, you already know what she rapping about. Like, I swallow so I can get a lamb truck. You know you can't buy her no damn lamb truck. So what you even her DM for? But anyway, let's just read off this little list. Shout out to the DMV Daily. Shout out to Crazy Weird Tay. I'm supposed to have my glasses on so I can read it. So I can read this list off to y'all. These is the top 28 places that women don't want to go. Okay, this list makes me seem like I don't ever want to date again at all. Here's a list of places that women absolutely refuse to go to for a first date. And thank you, ladies, for who reached out to me and helped me make this list. Number 1 is the Cheesecake Factory. Number 2 is Applebee's. Number 3 is Chili's. Number 4 is Chipotle. Number 5 is Olive Garden. Number 6 is the movies. I ain't gonna hold you. Any bro who don't want to go to the movies, you can already X me completely out. I'm cool with that one. Number 7, Your House. Number 8, any fast food chain. Number 9, Buffalo Wild Wings. Number 10, Wingstop. Real quick, can I stop at 10? I'm not gonna hold you. Out of these top 10 things, the only thing that I will be appalled of is the movies. That's it. That would be my only beef. Like, I'm going to the movies. You got me chopping screw. And a lot of women like to play big on the movies, but I haven't met not a woman alive that they ain't gonna let me take her to the movie. So let's get to number 11. Red Lobster. Number 12, a buffet. Number 13, IHOP. Number 14, Denny's. Number 15, the gym. Y'all, we've had these conversations on here. I have never done it, but I do think that would be a fire little date situation. Number 16, church. I've talked about that before here. I do these places like the gym. Number 15 and number 16, the gym and the church. I have never done it, but I do like when I ever get back to dating, like those two things would have to be on my to-do list. Number 17, Starbucks. Number 18, coffee dates in general. I feel like 17, 18, that's the same thing. 19, ice cream date. Number 20, family functions. 21, movie night, aka night, Netflix, Hulu, etc. 22, somewhere that requires a long drive. 23, bowling. 24, a nightclub. 25, a hookah bar. 26, a bar just for drinks. 27, Waffle House. 28, sporting events. Yeah, I feel like some of that. I feel like a lot of that is just upon on how much a woman likes you or not. Because a lot of this, a lot of this, I wouldn't do none of these places my damn self for a first date because it just seemed corny. Like I'm not drinking coffee out in public. I only could drink coffee early in the morning because coffee just make me use the bathroom.
But a coffee date meetup, first time meeting a person, that's a public place and you don't know.
Yes, and listen, listen what I'm saying. And y'all always have to take my dating advice with a grain of salt because dog, I'm a trick. When I'm in the mood, I'm going to trick. So I don't care. Some of this shit is beneath me too. I won't go to some of these places either. I'm sorry. And the reason why I won't because I don't want to be around a bunch of hoodlums and low lifes who get super drunk at Applebee's. You're absolutely right. So some of these places I won't go neither because guess what? I don't drink. I don't drink, and I don't want to be around pissy drunk people. Because Applebee's be having, I think I just seen a commercial. That Applebee's bringing back whatever the dollar drink. Yeah, I'm cool. I don't want to be around people who and taking a bunch of dollar margaritas because then y'all get super drunk and you get super aggressive. I'm not trying to be around you aggressive drunk people. No, so I'm cool. Some of these places I won't go. It doesn't serve my soul. It don't serve where I'm at in life. So I'm cool on some of that. I would pass on some of these places too. So I don't feel like, oh, some of this list is just audacious and like I said, I know a lot of women who will bang the I don't want to go to the movies thing, but I think that's because they just don't like a lot of you dudes anyway. So they want to do something that they prefer to do. But if they like you and you like, oh, is this new movie I don't want to go? They can go 9 times out of 10. I'm not saying they're gonna let you take them to Greenbelt. But okay, you want to go to the movie? Let's do an eye pick or whatever the new. Well, I think it's a new joint on Rhode Island Avenue and it's a new one out Tyson. So there's some new movie daters that's supposed to be even better than eye picks. I haven't been dating in a long time, so I haven't been to none of these places. But I'm just going off of just conversations that I've heard. So I get it, but like I said, I think out of these 28 places, a lot of these places, women just won't go because they just don't like some of y'all.
That hookah shit, I don't need to see how that even think that's somebody.
Oh, you know they would. That's why. The hookah. Hell yeah.
You ain't got hookah.
Yeah. That. But I mean, but it will make some women feel some type of way because I mean, I remember when Bella was telling that story on here, and she got mad because the nigga took her. But that goes again to when we were talking about it depends how it's what you put on social media. That's all she showed. Like only thing you showed is when you out smoking hookah. So of course, if I'm a nigga and I'm just reading between the lines, of course I'm gonna take you to a hookah spot. So again, that's why when we talk about social media and the way you present yourself on social media, that all does realistically it matters. Yeah, that's a long list. Like I said, like out of most of those places, I really only would do like 5 out of the 28 anyway. So it ain't really that deep. Oh, this was kind of fire. This was some DMV stuff. All right, so for people who don't know what that is McDonald's. If you haven't seen that
That's a
commercial,
McDonald's commercial.
yeah, that's a McDonald's commercial. I swear to God, shout out to McDonald's. That's a McDonald's commercial.
Because that shit is trash.
What, the McDonald's mumbo sauce?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said it real quick. But you know what's so funny? And it's because, like, of course, when we were younger, and for people, if you got older parents and you live out of state, actually, people used to call DC the chocolate city, and it's just so crazy to me how the things that used to be only like super DC, it seemed, and that's why I don't necessarily know how bad gentrification really is, because the more white people move into DC, more of just the only things that was DC becomes more popular, where it goes to even it could be a gift and a curse when it goes to like to the mute DC thing. That was because of the white people was complaining on Georgia Avenue about the loud music being played, and that ended up just opening up a bigger can of worms to put a bigger spotlight on go-go and DC at that time. So that kind of was like that benefit DC and it benefited go-go music, especially at that time in the moment. But then even with New Balances, like the more, because New Balances will probably think, okay, well, more white people moving there, they do a lot of running. This is already a DC thing. You start to see more New Balance signs at the bus stops, and they was doing different things with Shoe City, whatever case may be. But then you start to see New Balance start to get more popular because the white people was like, oh, this is a DC thing, and that's a good running shoe. So then they started to. So then, of course, maybe not the same exact New Balances that we grew up on, but New Balances as a whole figured out, okay, I understand how popular New Balances is to DC, but now guess what? I also understand how much white people like to run. So let me try to maneuver in so help the white people think, oh, I'm keeping it DC. I got me a pair of New Balances. So realistically, that benefit, New Balance is the company. So that's another thing. So now when it comes to mumbo sauce, and this I seen with Low Daddy and them send me this commercial earlier, and I haven't tasted the McDonald's thing because I don't eat McDonald's, and not even on some, oh, I'm bougie for McDonald's. I'm just nigga. If I'm gonna draw, y'all know if I'm gonna draw my line on eating bad, it's gonna be candy. It's not gonna be junk food, regular fast food stuff. So I don't eat it. So, but I've seen the commercial. I kept saying like, damn, mumbo sauce. I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. But I kept saying like, this trust me, believe McDonald's is spending a lot of money running commercials for this mumbo sauce. And I don't know if it's just in DC where they spending a lot of money on these commercials, but they definitely, I've seen the commercial a lot of times. So then I seen this little thing on their Instagram page, right? So what made me start up a conversation in a debate with Low and Joe and J-Bo was, I was like, okay, that's cool what they doing. And this was even with the what's the mumbo sauce that they sell in the grocery store? What is it? Yeah. So I was telling Lois, and he was like, you never had Capital. I'm like, yeah, but I don't, and that no shade to that mumbo sauce. I don't like dark mumbo sauce. I like my mumbo sauce bright red. Of course, I had a racist joke that I could say, but I'm not gonna say it on the podcast. But I like the bright red mumbo sauce. And I feel like you really not in the hood if you don't have light red mumbo sauce. I don't do the dark mumbo sauce. That's like that's that Largo shit. That's that Upper Marlboro carry out. Nah, I'm cool. I need the bright red. I'm sorry. I like my mumbo sauce bright red, and I like my mumbo sauce from Yao Ming. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
And that's the crazy.
That's the sad. No, and that's the sad part because you do have the capital city. Or what I think that's up from the south side. But you do have that mumbo sauce, and it's like tasting the McDonald's one. I'm like, what the hell, like. Something missing. Like, where did y'all even get these ingredients from?
I mean, I don't know because I don't even know who. I do know who one of these people are in this commercial, and that's the chef Anthony dude. And that's because he's younger and he's popular on Instagram. So I do know who he is.
He in there?
Yeah, he in that commercial.
Okay.
So, but I don't necessarily know who the rest of the people are. The other main people that was talking in this commercial. But my only thing of it is just for what the mumbo sauce that I like. When you think about mumbo sauce, because I've even in Baltimore, like when they be having their little knockoff version of mumbo sauce, it's dark. I don't like the dark mumbo sauce. Like I'm cool. I like my mumbo sauce bright red. And we was just debating. I'm debating with J-Bo, and I'm like, bro, and he was like, it was some joint on 7th Avenue. I'm like, all right, do they sell soul food in it? Because he was like, it's an Asian-owned joint, but they got black people. And I said, that's my point. So they ain't there selling Chinese food and soul food. Nigga, that mumbo sauce don't count. Nigga, I like my mumbo sauce when it's only Chinese people in there. I'm sorry, I don't care what y'all talking about. I don't even know. That's why I'm trying to figure out how did black people get in this commercial? Because I've never bought no carry out where it's black people that work in it. It's only Chinese people. Where do y'all get the dark mumbo sauce with black people in it? And that's not, like I said, this is not no shade to McDonald's. It's not no shade to the people who in this commercial.
Now maybe that might be my question. Where did mumbo sauce originally?
I only had mumbo sauce from the Chinese restaurant, and it's only Chinese people in it. I've never been nowhere, and I don't want to go. And like I said, there's not no shade. I don't want to go nowhere, and I have never been nowhere to buy mumbo sauce from black people.
Let us know.
Like that's just not. I'm sorry. It's never been in my forte, and I like my mumbo sauce bright red. What are we talking about? Well, real quick, and we can play. I got this clip from. I swear to God, Shannon Sharp is just a podcasting nigga. Though I love Shannon Sharp. You got some preseason. I mean, well, not preseason. Regular season start for the NBA. Well, tonight. For people listening, they come out. This episode come out on Tuesday morning. So by the time you hear this, tonight is opening night in the NBA. Get the first game is the Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets, and the Nuggets will be doing their ring ceremony. And then it's crazy. Like this is the second time they keep playing with the Lakers like this, but I feel like the Lakers will take this one a little bit more personally. Because they actually played the Nuggets in the conference finals. Because they played the Warriors the year before that, for their ring ceremony. And of course, I know it's just views because it's LeBron, so you want to put LeBron in it. Oh, and real quick, dog, LeBron. Oh my God, dog. That Beats commercial with LeBron James and his wife and whatever that soccer play is. Oh my God, that Beats commercial is fire. It's a new commercial, and Savannah James is doing the voiceover, like she talking to LeBron, like it's like a voicemail. Oh my God, that joint like that. You gotta. Oh my God, that joint is fire. I swear to God, that joint tight. You gotta play it. Oh my. Well, let me find this joint. I know exactly what it said. This joint is fire.
So you got to go to State.
Yeah, you got to go to State of Phoenix, and then yeah, on TNT. I need to place my bet. I didn't do. I need to place my with Phoenix and versus Golden State. I need to place my money with Phoenix. So in this commercial, is going back and forth between Savannah talking to LeBron, and then it's the soccer player, his dad talking to his son. I'm not sure who the soccer player is. I don't want to mess his name up either. Yeah, so y'all get the gist of the commercial, and it's her just talking through the joint. And in the commercial, she did say, "I want you to play with both of our sons," which would put LeBron at 42 years of age if he can make it to play when Bryce get there.
That's a
It's like what's that, like 3 or 4 more years?
slow.
It's a long time, and it's kind of ridiculous. But realistically, if we looking for drop offs, that probably will be the normal time for Dirk and Vince Carter them played.
Yeah.
No, he at the most for what I'm talking about stat wise. Like his drop off still ain't when they was going into year 21. How many points they was averaging? Like
when he's actually dropping off.
Yeah, for sure. Like like where he getting 12 points a game and stuff like that. Like Dirk Nowitzki was hanging on there. Him and Vince both. Like Vince Carter, I think his last season at like 22. I think Vince Carter played up to 21 or 22. Yeah, and he was like 7 points a game or 6 points a game, something low like that. Like it was a low number. Matter of fact, I want to say I thought I saved it in my phone before. Matter of fact, I did. They were averaging. What's that? Oh yeah, here their points. Robert Parrish average. Is this the average? Or this was the average. Oh, he was averaging 4 points, like 2 rebounds, and 1 something. Kevin Willis was 2 points, 2 rebounds. Kevin Garnett was 3. This can't be their points. 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2. Oh no, this is their Jones. Oh yeah, Dirk Nowitzki was averaging 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Vince Carter was averaging 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. So Vince Carter and Dirk Nowitzki at 21 had the highest. They both had 7 points, 3 rebounds. Kevin Garnett had 3 points, 4 rebounds.
Because you don't even remember Kevin Garnett last year.
I don't even know who he was playing for.
Brooklyn.
No. He went back to Minnesota, matter of fact.
To play?
I thought he did.
Yeah. Brooklyn was last place he was at.
Oh, well, maybe
Paul Pierce might have went a couple of other places. Paul Pierce went to the Clippers and the Wizards and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I want to say Kevin Garnett. I think it was last season.
Oh, Pierce was hooping that year. He went to the Wizards too. That playoff run, that was the deepest playoff run that the Wizards had since then. They ain't had one since then.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't. Yeah, they went to the second round. Yeah, but anyway, so right now, I mean, Dirk, I mean, going in for LeBron, he averaged last season, he averaged 29 points. So that's my point. That's what I'm saying. So saying that, it sounds crazy when we talking about the number wise, but when you look at
sound crazy, but then I also think it's just the workload that LeBron would take compared to them. Them at 21, I don't think none of them was really competing. Dirk wasn't competing.
No, hell no, he wasn't. That was Luka first year.
He wasn't competing. So as I said, I mean, LeBron is still competing. His workload is still going to be what it is. Now if he was probably still in Cleveland or something like that, where he wasn't worried about this.
Yeah, so then I guess my question would be with that one is, could he play until he's 42? Yes, but would he have to go probably play for a different team? Yes, so he can take a different load. And I think because he's LeBron James, he can't go nowhere and take a different workload because people going to make it seem like he ring chasing. Because think about it, if him to go play, if he go anywhere else and take a lesser role, it's going to be on a team that he going to win a championship.
You cannot dictate it. You have to go wherever they get drafted. So let's just say, what's name get drafted to freaking trying to think. Sorry, let's say you got drafted to Milwaukee, not Minnesota. No, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere where he not. Because everybody is kind of stacked. So I don't even know where. Let's say he got drafted
to what's if he got drafted to San Antonio?
And Pop is still coaching, he would definitely do that. That's not you trying to play with you. You get to play with Pop and you playing with your son.
And you get to play
so
with
if I say I don't feel that if he went to now let's say the son got drafted by Phoenix or some shit like that, and he went to Phoenix and Phoenix still had Kevin and all. Now that would be.
You know the crazy thing is, I honestly think Kevin Durant probably will end up retiring before LeBron, unless LeBron retire like next week. I mean, like next year.
I could see that.
Because I don't see as many of them hanging around as long as LeBron is hanging around. I just don't. I kind of just can't see it happening.
Only thing I can see, I think Kevin injury that will force him to retire.
Yeah, because he definitely still got it.
I think that will if it will force him into early retirement if he was got hurt again, a serious injury, and he probably feel like it's not worth trying to keep going. That's the only way I can see him. I don't think him just stepping away like I'm just done with it. I think we'll have to be like injury. He like I don't want to put my life.
Yeah. All right. Well, we did kind of get sidetracked. I was just trying to get, I guess, even if you ain't got to go through the whole season, but just even for the first games tomorrow, do you got any picks? Do you think Golden State got a chance to even beat Phoenix though?
I think they will. First game, and it's in Golden State. I don't see why not. Would you look at Phoenix any different
if they lose to Golden State? Hell yeah. The first you can't lose game one, dog. No, and this KD first jump back in when he played. I don't even know how many games has he ever played back in Golden State since he left.
Probably.
I don't know because you got them injuries in the pandemic. I don't know.
No, I think.
Damn, Minnesota up 22-17. Hold on real quick. I'm just trying to look at these the bets. Oh, they ain't even got it. Ain't nobody no favorite. They got Phoenix is 1 point favorite. So like if you wanted to bet, oh man, that's why I hate betting early. Don't bet late from now on any games. Because this thing, I bet this Lakers John, and they was a 1 point. What was it? It was plus what was it? I want to say 160. It was plus 164. So for people who don't know what that is, if you're on one of the betting apps and it's plus 164, so it's basically I bet it. What did I bet? So I can just read. I can tell y'all my jump. So my Lakers jump was plus 164. So that means I bet $10 and I could win 26. So now realistically, if I did that same bet, in which they probably won't let me make it again, but if I did that same one at $10, well, it ain't nothing but a $2 difference. It'll be, I went 18. I don't like that. I hate that. Like you can't, though. You should up mine. When they up, I don't know why they do that. Like you gotta catch it on the same jump. So yeah. Oh, who else played?
That's it. This is
oh yeah, it was Wednesday. It's the Hornets and the
Wednesday. Everybody. I think everybody.
Yeah, the Hornets and versus Atlanta. The Wizards versus. Oh, I'm taking the Wizards. Their shit is crazier too. Oh, yeah, make my best when we get out of here. me finish. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but I definitely I think I'm gonna take Phoenix over Golden State. And of course I'm gonna go with the Lakers. I already bet I'm gonna rock with the Lakers regardless. So yeah, I'm taking the Lakers and I'm gonna take the Suns both for the first night opening. And then we can get into this. I got this clip of Shannon Sharp I want to play him talking about going on a lobster date. We can come in with that. Let that load up.
We'll be right back. Girl, I know you tired of the same song. Need to speak your mind, you need to say song. I be on the grind from like 8 on the 8 song. But my phone make sure I 8 song. So you get success, you know the hate come. I ain't tripping, deal with niggas when the day come. I'ma throw this money, she gon' shake some. I'm on the front with uppers, girl, that takes some. Somebody broke her heart and now she acting like I did it. You come with the liquor and I'm coming with the bitches. I use the nigga diamond, now I'm smoking out the candy. And some short amount of time in your city. You gotta make it work, just gotta put the work in. We ain't gotta make it perfect. You was on our 5th shot, this thing you know we surfing. That pussy was alive, and this thing you know it's curved. Make sure that ain't the people, man, somebody check the curve. I really like your titties and your hips, how they be curved. I can tell that he ain't really got it, how he curved. Don't believe the shit you hear, cause you gon' get a different version. Girl, I know you tired of the same song. Need to speak your mind, you need to say song. I be on the grind from like 8 on the 8 song. She gon' call my phone, make sure I 8 song. So when you get success, you know the hate come. I ain't tripping, deal with niggas when the day come. I'ma throw this money, she gon' shake some. I'm on the phone with uppers, girl, that takes some.
So the door close all the way. Close all the way.
This was the 1990s. I think this young lady. Okay, I ain't got a whole lot of money, but you know what? I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna deny myself.
No, that's why I said Shannon Sharp is master podcast. I don't care what you were talking about last week when you talking about the pooping. These little miscellaneous stories, he figuring out how to add it in just because. Dog, what do any of that? No, they supposed to be talking about the games that went on, but he figured out little ways that let me add these little clips. They can go viral, so we can keep just running up this number. So shout out to Shannon Sharp, shout out to Ocho Cinco. But I'm not gonna lie. I think as men, realistically, we ever being honest and even going back, of course, into the dating thing, there are certain restaurants where you feel like, oh, if you take a woman, that you're supposed to crack cheeks off the rip. Like, if we go somewhere, duh. And especially if you don't feel like this ain't her normal, come on, though. I'm not listening to what I'm saying, and I can be honest with you. The first time I ever went to Roof Chris and I didn't get some cheeks, I was heated. And this was a broad that I was kind of like dating on the regular. And we went, and I don't think she gave me no cheeks after that. And I think this was because I was trying to make up because I was messing with her friend. And that's what I know for a fact that's what happened. So no, that's what happened though. So realistically, I didn't know that they was friends. So me and her stopped talking. So I ended up messing with her friend for a brick. So after me and her friend stopped, messing with each other, I'm trying to make it back up, get on her good side. I'm like, bro, I didn't know that y'all were friends. Boom, boom, boom. We could do something different. So of course, this time she was like, all right, well, we got to go out somewhere differently, so I can show that you really like me. So this was my first time going to Roof Chris. So I took her to Roof Chris, and she definitely didn't let me clap. I was heated, and yeah. So what happened? So I do think realistically, I know for a fact that men make mental notes of situations like that. And I guess real quick, we could you want to go just to double down on what I said last week about Mario. So and it's crazy because I think we all do throw in the numbers game when it's 2 hour leisure, when we feel like it. Sometimes you don't want to make it about numbers, but then people do throw the numbers in when they feel like it. So that, for people who don't know who that was Sisqo, and then that was a valid point. How can Mario be on a R&B Mount Rushmore? Hey, he from the same place I'm from, right? Did he outsell more records than me? Let me answer that question for you. No skeet. He did not. Sorry, Bucko. Nowhere near close to it. So guess what? There's no way you could be on a Mount Rushmore of anything if we are from the same exact area code and you ain't never outsell more numbers than me.
Hey, Sisqo, you saw what happened to Morant too.
I don't care. I don't care. Tell me. I don't listen. You think Omarion got bigger songs than Let Me See That Thong, the thong, thong, thong.
I don't. I mean, with Sisqo, I'm saying Sisqo as a group, Drew Hill.
That's Sisqo by himself. Okay, that ain't Drew Hill, dog.
Whatever song Sisqo got by himself. That's the only song you telling me about. I don't know whatever song he got.
What these bitches want from a nigga. He on that song. If this was verses, I'm playing that. There's no way in hell I'm gonna do a verses and I'm Sisqo and I'm not doing that.
Okay, but what else?
Nigga, you know I don't listen to R&B, so
that's why I know. But what I'm trying to figure, I don't even know too many Sisqo songs, so that's what I'm saying.
I will get them two songs right there. I know for a fact, and I don't care what niggas' names you just named. They ain't got a bigger song than Thong Song, and they damn sure ain't got a bigger song than that DMX song. Tell me what these bitches want from a nigga. Tell me what they want. Shit, all right, I got two. I know what they don't got. I know for a fact, Mario, none of those niggas got a song they could stand beside. Neither one of them songs right there. Now, after that, I don't know. And I'm sure if he going to his Drew Hill bag, I know for a fact Drew Hill got some hits.
Yeah, Drew Hill got some hits. But I don't think Sisqo, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Sisqo.
But with Sisqo was the lead in Drew Hill.
Okay. He ain't Beyonce.
But he was the Beyonce of that group.
My nigga fell off so bad.
Oh, and what the rest of them niggas doing? You acting like the rest of them doing something.
I'm saying. I don't. When he tried to do the solo thing, it didn't go too well.
I mean, I don't know because I'm not a huge R&B person, so I can't give you a big argument. But while we talking about Mount Rushmores, I can get into a conversation that it was a picture flying around, like I guess like it was a meme or something, and it was a picture of Lotto, Glorilla, Sexyy Red, and Ice Spice. And on this thing, it said this was the new Mount Rushmore for female hip hop. My only thing is, where's Cardi and where's Meg? How do you come up with a Mount Rushmore for new female hip hop? So if you saying new, because basically you want to exclude Nicki Minaj. So for the group of people after Nicki Minaj, how do you skip Meg and Cardi?
Because Meg ain't putting them out.
I don't care. None of them still don't got bigger songs than her, and none of them ain't bigger than her.
Right, but Meg has to put something out.
No, she to do what?
No, I'm just saying
to be bigger than fucking Ice Spice and Sexyy Red. Are you
but
stupid?
I'm saying for the wave right now, though.
Nigga, I don't care. What wave of what, nigga? It don't matter. None of them are still bigger than her. None of them don't draw more people, don't draw more attention than Meg Thee Stallion. Are you fucking kidding me? She has a whole thing called Meg Knees Like Meg. You got Meg Knees. People still say that daily. What are you talking about? Hot Girl Summer was a thing that was competing with the City Girls.
So it's Ski Week Munch.
Man, we talking about stuff.
You just did the same thing. You just told me Ski Week was the, So
man, nigga, please, eat a dick. Stop.
You
Anyway,
said
you
the
can't
same
have
thing.
nigga. I ain't say shit. Not no dumb shit like that.
Ski Week, yes, you did.
Marcus,
In the beginning, if listen to the beginning, you said Ski Week was
listen to Marcus. Listen, just relax and slow down. We ain't talking about songs. We talking about a Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. If I sit here and say the name your top 4 Mount Rushmore of all time, it ain't going off a goddamn song. It's going off your catalog. It's going off your presence. It's going off your namesake. It ain't off no a song. Ain't none of them got more than 5 songs besides Lotto.
I thought it said new wave. That's why I said
I get what it said. So listen to
I
what
get
I'm
what
saying.
you're saying, but what I'm saying, we talking about just right now. That's what I'm just saying. We just talking about right now. You said you're excluding Nikki off of it. That's why I said right now. If we just talking about rap, we haven't heard nothing from me. That's all I'm saying.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I don't care. If I ask you what was a Mount Rushmore for the last 10 years, you ain't taking off Kendrick Lamar just because he ain't put out a song yesterday.
But the Mount Rushmore was for the new wave, right?
The new wave of what that came out last summer?
I'm guessing.
No, well, guess what? Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you, no, nigga, no, you cannot have a Mount Rushmore. If we talk about new female rappers, and if it stops with old as Nicki Minaj and everything after Nicki Minaj, nigga, it can't be no list, no nothing. If it ain't Megan Thee Stallion on it, it ain't no Cardi B on it, and you can put Lotto and Doja Cat on it, and the rest of that shit is just we know for a fact we're not listening to it next time. Like, stop. Like we not even about to sit here and make this even seem. We're not about to sound stupid. I'm not about to pander to no audience. Cardi, fucking Glorilla and Sexyy Red ain't gonna be here next summer. Let's be fucking clear. Sexyy Red is goddamn pregnant with a goddamn kid right now. Ain't no way in hell she gonna hang on until next summer. Like, dog, okay, I'm sure people thought the same thing about the City Girls, and I just told you they just put out an album that only did fucking 6,000.
Hey, I'm with it. Like I said, I hear you on the clear. What you just said earlier.
I said, yeah, we was talking about comparing for songs for newer artists. Dude, is it more beneficial to you to have an original song or a sample? That was the conversation. I didn't say nothing else. What are you talking about?
But when I
Keep
said
saying what I said
years,
earlier.
But when I said 5 years later, you still think that Ski Week was still gonna be a song that they
So my point is why you keep bringing her up. If I'm asking, what about Cardi and Meg? How do she get back in the conversation? If you don't think she's gonna be here 5 years, why are you trying to put her on a Mount Rushmore and take Meg and Cardi off?
Mikey, that's what I'm trying to sit here and say. I get it. I get what you're trying to sit here and say Meg belongs on it. But what I was just saying, and what you said, you think that Ski Week would last longer than that song that the young lady put out. You saying for her using that sample is not going to last that long for her. She need to make her own original. That's all. I was just sitting here trying to sit here and tell you. You just said that Ski Week would last that long.
The difference of it is do Soulja Boy have songs that last for 10, 15 plus years? Yes, but does Soulja Boy belong on a Mount Rushmore of anything? No. Chief Keef got songs. People, you can still play Don't Like, you can still play Love Sosa today, right now. Everybody's gonna go crazy. You can play Finito and everybody and their mother gonna lose their mind if they of a certain age. But does Chief Keef belong on a Mount Rushmore? If it ain't got nothing to do with Chicago, no sir, Bob. I don't care if the song will last longer. We talk about Mount Rushmore for new female artists. There should not, if you are minusing anything after Nicki Minaj, it better have Cardi B on it. It better have Megan Thee Stallion on it. And at this point in time right now, it better have Lotto and it better have Doja Cat on it. The rest of that hee-haw silly shit is going to be gone tomorrow. The songs will still stick around, but those people and us remembering their names ain't nobody gonna give a goddamn hell. In other news, what else? Oh yeah, well, we talking about Sexyy Red. Shout outs to Howard. Howard had their homecoming, and then I do realize that I am of a certain age where if I'm nowhere near Georgia Avenue, I'm not even going to know Howard homecoming is even going on because I don't know nobody that's going to Howard homecoming. I don't care about Howard homecoming, and I know for a fact that I didn't. And don't get me wrong, I am going to talk about that video that I seen that was going viral of all the kids on U Street, and they were going crazy too. Sexyy Red and Drake, that let that pussy breathe, let it breathe for Drake, let it breathe for Sexyy, whatever the case, or let it breathe for me, however that song go. Let's be clear, they was going crazy to that song. They literally, I'm talking about, and I hate to have been that Metro bus driver. Like they literally shut the whole street down. Like that, I'm talking about the bus driver could move nowhere. Like he literally just had to stop. I could you can't pay me enough for that. Like I would be so pissed. Like I need a pay raise, I need a bonus, I need something. Y'all need to start a GoFundMe or a Cash App. Like dog, that's ridiculous. Dog. He literally couldn't do nothing. There's no way he can go. You couldn't drive it. They didn't care. The whole street, thousands of kids just in the fucking middle of the street, just make that pussy breathe. Done that thing for Drake and let it breathe for me. I'm like, yo, I would be sick if I was driving that bus. He couldn't go nowhere. He was just there. Then people on the bus, they get so irritated, they start dancing. You literally see a woman she was on the bus and she probably like, God, can y'all move out the way? And then it's just like, all right, we ain't about to go nowhere. She get the goddamn dancing right next to the bus driver. Dog, you would have had to pay me extra. Ain't no way in hell, dog. And I know for a fact that nigga here, he probably wanted to cut that bus off and leave it right there and park, but he just realized how good them goddamn benefits was. That's the only thing that kept him from quitting because that was crazy. No, nigga, his patience was in at a top tier, different type of level of patience. Yeah, but they had it, but only I guess real quick because me and Top was having a conversation. And I was just like, Howard homecoming. Maybe if you still participate. I did hear DJ Envy talk about it on the Breakfast Club, and they was comparing like what HBCUs have the best homecomings, and it was a lady who was on there today, and she went to FAMU, and she from Miami, so they was comparing, I guess, FAMU versus Howard homecomings. And it made me think. I was just telling Top, I'm like, how homecoming still may be lit if you went to that school or you still, but I'm talking about when Howard homecoming was like Howard homecoming. You didn't have to go to Howard homecoming to know it was a Howard homecoming weekend, and then the parties were so big that the Howard homecoming was just like the theme of the party, but it wasn't because like they would have somebody like Future. Like to me, the last big Howard homecoming that I can remember was when they had Future Echo Stage for 2 nights in a row. He had a Friday party and a Saturday jump. For people out of town don't know what Echo Stage hold like 6,000 people. Both of them jumps were sold out. So this was like Future. I want to say this was around Purple Rain. I want to say he just dropped Purple Rain when this came out. But that's when he went on that super mixtape run and he had like 3 mixtapes burning up on the streets, and then he literally just dropped Purple Rain. So that was that form of Future. And it was literally like, nigga, they had 2. That to me was big. Like, or even when it was like Backyard and Gucci Man, like that was doing a Howard homecoming. Like that, like it was used to be events was so big that it just was like people were using Howard homecoming as like, okay, cool, the artist's already in town. But even like I think their headliner for their festival outside the free jump, it was Victoria Monet. I'm like, and that's what I'm saying.
Was that so? What was Offset? Because he was out there. I seen him, Pusha T.
Oh, maybe, but I don't necessarily know if he. I don't know if he headlined. I don't know if he closed it. I want to say Victoria Monet closed it.
Because I seen him because he was on the live stage with local artists too from here.
Yeah, he did. I did see him do that. And again, shout out to also. I think his final numbers came in, and I want to say it was it 80,000? I think it was 80,000 even. I think it was. But yeah, shout out to Offset. But yeah, and shout out to Howard. Like I said, and the reason why, again, when we have those conversations and we normally have the debate about music being like when you listen to music, or are you too old? And I always throw the gym in there because I know for a fact where would somebody old experience what I seen on the video, like that right there, like as an older person, you would never experience how crazy that I'm talking about. It was thousands of people really going crazy for this song in the middle of the street. And they rapping it word for word. But that's towards the end of that Drake album. Like I'm sure, like how many people like really was just like, I ain't even like I'm not about to sit here and lie to you. Like I added that to my gym playlist. Like that song wasn't for me.
That's the radio song.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't listen to the radio, so I don't.
That's the radio song. Because I haven't heard nothing else been played. That's the radio song.
It might be the radio song for here because when I listen to High 97, they still play the J. Cole John. So I mean, I don't know. It's probably different places in different areas.
I've
So
been hearing that. Like I said, that's the only one I heard on the radio is the Sexyy
Red John. So like I said, but my only thing of it is even when people were giving their opinions on it so early, just the rush to have an opinion, and then after you of a certain age, again, when I was sitting here, my point was the old people don't dictate what's hot no more. Like even if you didn't think that song was hot before. Then, like, just say even for somebody like me, I'm not checking for that song. I don't listen to the radio, so I didn't have that song. It don't exist in my space. But then when I see that video, and I'm like, damn, all these kids going that crazy to this song, like that's crazy, and they rapping it word for word.
Make it hot or do it make it popular?
It's the same thing. What's it different? Hot and popular is the same thing.
Not necessarily. I mean, just because everybody else is talking about that makes it popular, don't make it a hot song. You know what I'm saying? That don't make it a hot song.
Hot and popular is the same thing. What's the difference? Tell me what's the difference between hot and popular. If it's not the same thing, hot and popular is the same exact thing. You're hot for the moment. That means you're popular.
I know I'm saying, but if everybody's talking about, oh yeah, you heard that, you know what I'm saying, just talking about it, but that don't make you. I'm saying the song is not hot like it can't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a song that everybody's talking about, right?
I think you trying to rewrite what hot and popular is. Hot and popular is the same exact thing.
Okay.
And you for whatever song, however big y'all think Ski is or all that, just go on Apple Music and see what's the #1 song for Sexyy Red. It's the Drake song. Just for, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. Now I understand. If you're asking the difference between popular, like, okay, is it popular just in the hood, or is it just hot, like big, like crazy? And let's be clear, that Ski song is big. Like they just asked Steph Curry, how did he feel about it? Like Steph Curry was doing an interview with GQ magazine, and they asked him, how did he feel about getting a shout out from Sexyy Red on her song? And he laughed because he was like, only reason why I even know it because me and my teammates was talking about how many times have my name got mentioned in the song, and he like one of his teammates Googled it, and it was 107 times. And of course. And real quick, just I just want to get a free game. I doubt it. He might be, but they asked him what was his favorite one, and he still said the Drake line, Chef Curry with the pot. Yeah, that's his favorite jump out of all of them. But just real quick, because I did mention DJ Envy, and we did talk about it a little bit last week, and I guess it was clips of his partner getting the person that he was stamping Caesar got locked up. He got locked up. He got let out on $1 million bond, and I've seen a lot of people trying to DJ Envy about to get fired, and this, that, and the third. Like, and the crazy thing is, let me tell y'all niggas something.
I did see something where they saying they taking applications right now.
Dog, but see, this is a perfect example, and you just sound just like the regular niggas on the internet. Yeah, they've been doing that all year long since Angela Lee's left. They've been looking for a fucking spot. Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
But listen to my point, and I'm not. This is what I'm saying. You are just like everybody else. So my point, and that's why I get upset about it is the reason why I get upset is because dog niggas is so corny to see him want to get fired. Like that to me is just some y'all want to talk about what broke niggas do. For niggas to root for a nigga to go to jail or lose his job over some shit that don't concern y'all is crazy to me. And for the same people who sit on the internet and y'all say free YMW Millie, free Young Thug, and y'all cry about y'all know you literally sitting here, y'all watching niggas, and that again, I swear to God, I lose so much respect for my favorite podcasters. Though y'all niggas will do deep dives about DJ Envy, but skip others. Like, bro, I get it. You just tell me your hands don't work, and I understand. That's it. Because that's all I feel like. When niggas be so geeked to talk about DJ Envy, your hands just don't work. Because you know DJ Envy not that type of nigga. He cool. He gonna take it on the chin. And if y'all keep making a big deal, and don't get it twisted. His lawyer said, "Oh, don't." After we figure this out, we are making mental notes of people we sending cease and desist to, and people that we will be taking to court after we finish with this. So everybody who thinking I'm about to key and just run with this story, like, oh, this is the nah, DJ Envy gonna sue niggas. And if you ain't listened to the Breakfast Club long enough, I promise you he gonna sue niggas. If you don't know one thing about DJ Envy, nigga, look how fast he sent that to gunplay. Like, niggas, he going to sue niggas. Don't get it twisted. All these blogs that keep wanting to pick up all these little clips and keep running with these headlines, I promise you, I listen to the Breakfast Club every day. I've listened to, I told y'all many times, I listened to him and his wife on his podcast. One thing about that petty light-skinned nigga, I promise you, he got enough bread. He gonna sue niggas.
Is he back in studio?
He been back in there every day. Only time he wasn't there because he was at Howard doing a goddamn
job.
I'm
saying, was he in it?
Yes.
No,
he been on the radio every day.
I don't care.
So, but that's my point. But it's corny. But because you care, the only reason why you know because corny niggas is acting like he about to lose his job. No. So listen to what I'm telling you. And this is how ignorant and corny people is. Y'all think that iHeart could fire him because he in some money shit, and they didn't fire Charlamagne for fucking sexual assault and rape. Are y'all kidding me?
So no. So okay. So my question is, the iHeart, that's something new. They wasn't always under iHeart.
They've been under iHeart the whole time. What you talking about?
So they
The
not
Breakfast Club
in
is
the
on
studio.
iHeart.
So now I'm asking, they're not a part of the studio. That's what I'm saying. Is it still a radio? Which one call it? Or was it iHeart? Because that's what I said.
Nigga, iHeart is a radio station.
So what is the New York? That's what I'm saying. Wasn't they Hot 90? What's the station?
Nigga, Hot 97 is Ebro and Funkmaster Flex.
Oh, that's the only station out there.
Nigga,
No, I thought
iHeart is the same. Like if you listen to his whatever
I
that
know
Z10
is the-
whatever
I know,
station.
No, I know iHeart is the app, but that's what I'm saying. I thought they
No,
was
it's an actual radio station. It's a media company, but yes, they do have their own app, but it's still a radio station. Like
yeah, no, I thought they was a part. That's what I'm saying. I thought he was a part of a radio station.
he is. It's iHeart Media, iHeart radio station. I think
No,
the radio
I-
station is
I
like
thought-
105 point. It's like 105 FM or something, but it's
Oh,
iHeart.
yeah, no,
though.
I thought it was like 95. Like I said, I thought they was part of a regular radio station. That's why.
It comes up on the radio. I think it's like 105.5 or something like that FM radio station. But
okay.
it's iHeart owns the radio station, so
Okay.
all of those stations are on iHeart Jones. But my point of it is, a lot of you niggas is just corny, and maybe y'all think if the Breakfast Club stop, people gonna come and listen to y'all weak ass show. They not, dog. It's not gonna happen. So stop praying. That shit to me is just disgusting and it's corny to watch how many niggas are geeking for DJ Envy to get locked up. Like that is some hating shit. That let me know when y'all see this nigga bow all that shit on his wife and he bow and drive these crazy ass rapper cars that y'all niggas really be envious of him and jealous of him. That y'all niggas is championing that goddamn happy that you think that this nigga will go get locked up. This nigga ain't his man that got locked up, his man out on bond, and y'all niggas more worried about DJ Envy. That's crazy to me. Like that shit is corny. That's some corny, soft ass shit, bro. I don't respect soft, corny niggas. I don't respect niggas who got picks and you pick and choose what topics you want to talk about because you feel like this person won't beat your ass. Nigga, talk about the niggas you know for a fact will knock you the fuck out. Talk about the niggas you know for a fact will shoot you in your goddamn face. If you ain't gonna talk about them niggas, skip DJ Envy there. Because that's whole shit. I don't care what you saw. Ain't no other way to dress it. That's a corny ass. It's a million other topics. And niggas keep wanting to dick ride DJ Envy. That shit is corny. And all you New York niggas is corny and y'all niggas pussy. And you can't fucking tell me nothing different because I'm paying attention to the topics you niggas skip and the ones you want to down on the hill with. And if you trying to down the DJ Envy hill, you're corny. In other news, fucking Blueface sit here and said that if you got 3 baby fathers and he called his mother a whore. He said all women with multiple baby fathers are whores. So him and his mother had a back and forth because and people was asking him why did he choose to marry his baby mother or his first baby
Y'all
mother.
see the shit he did at the game?
And he proposed to her at the game. He
About the proposal. You didn't see them distributors?
Yeah,
How the hell he get that on?
because he had a suite and they had clothes on before they went in it.
Right, but the suite is on the floor. The cameras man was looking at him. That's what I'm saying. Like that. So nothing happened after that. Like they didn't kick them out or he didn't get banned. Like them.
Nah, but people, I seen people posted like Bleacher Report probably like this probably gonna be his last Raider game. I mean, what was that Rams game that he ever go? Who they play? They play some. Oh yeah, so I don't know why they wasn't paying attention to it. But
It must have been early. It probably wasn't doing it. Because I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like, how the hell he was throwing a lot of money. So I'm just like, nobody just turned around like, hey, what is going on? Because I seen like you could see the cameraman looking and stuff like that. So that's why I'm just like, nobody brought that attention. It probably was like before the game.
I don't know when it was. It might have been before the game or whatever the case may be. But I do know he proposed to his first baby mother, and people were of course people love Krishan, so people was upset saying, "Oh, how you propose to Krishan and not?" And I should have started. This is how I'm telling you how messed up the internet is. I absolutely should have started this episode with this song that y'all keep running to the ground. I'm gonna end this episode with that jump that his baby mother got, and it's some slim waist and a thick like a Bobby. Like that's a song that's popular on social media. All the girls are running to use this song, and that's to me like I would hate to be a rapper like a Lady London or a Lola Brooks or any of them. I can really rap my ass off, and it's somebody who can do a bunch of ratchet shit on social media. Deal with a ratchet nigga who on the network TV, or if I get on the Zeus or do all this other stuff, I can catch me a popular song. Oh, you know how much of a slap in the face that is? Like you think about for somebody like Lola Brooks, think about Lady London. Like these girls can really rap. They pretty beautiful women. With his girl look kind of like she in a goddamn slow class, and she literally put out a goddamn song, and every girl and their mother running around using it now for their goddamn Instagram.
And maybe that's what I probably was trying to get at, like. Because it's just popular, people who heard about it, but it's not really hot. That's what I was trying to say. When you know what I'm saying?
Are you saying like because influential people use the sound, it makes it seem like it's more popular than what it actually is?
Yeah.
For certain songs, I believe it could be true. Like, but then it be certain jumps where it's like, okay, I think it just like okay. So let's say for that water
like
song,
you said, like you just said just now, like that song for example, and I've heard people say it, but I didn't know who the fuck was singing the song.
Of course,
but they been saying like that's Blueface Baby Mother song. But for something like that it's just popular because it don't make it really a hot song, you know.
But it makes it hot because it's popular on social media. Because I'm sure realistically, if I'm a DJ in a club and it's a bunch of women in there, and I know, like let's just sit here and say, if you DJ in a party and you follow 50 of the women that's in that party right now, you've seen all of them already use it in their Insta story or they use it to their Instagram reel. You want to play that song. You'll be a fool if you a DJ and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, everybody drunk, and you know for a fact I'm eyeballing 50 women that I know for a fact I watched them use this song in the last week. You will be an idiot not to play it. So I think those things kind of tie each other to like they go hand in hand. So like if it's and you're right. So if like I guess like the conversation we've been having for a couple of weeks, where it's the difference between like if it's a song where like the Erica Banks busted jump, it made realistically nobody might never go back to it again. It had its moment during the pandemic. It had its moment with the challenge, but nobody may never go back to it again. Yeah, some of those songs may not never ever exist again. So you're right, they were popular on social media because of behind of a challenge. So nobody probably even actually listened to the real song. But for a song like that, it may be the same way. But it is. We can't deny that it's hot at the moment. If I was a regular rapper and I really was rapping for real, it would frustrate me. It would piss me off, and it would make you question a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah, so yeah, when you say it like that, yeah, I do agree with you, and I do think that realistically, it'll make me question a lot of stuff, though. Like that would just make me, I would just get pissed. Like I'm not gonna hold you. Like it would be, it'll be hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It'll be hard. Like that one, it will hurt me. Let that load up.